trimmer ever. It's the 4th generation trimmer featuring a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof as well and is also has a 400K LED spotlight you need for a more precise shave. Incredibly useful, let me tell you, in certain situations. Because this trimmer is waterproof, you can say goodbye to the mess in the bathroom floor as well. You thought that was good, of course, but you want to take your grooming to the next level, and Brian will. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker nose and ear trimmer. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof as well, which provides proprietary skin-safe technology too, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate nose holes. Their Crop Trimmer Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner, which change the way you approach your hygiene routine. Trust me, when I say this, fellas, your balls will thank you. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts in the Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag, which is fantastic. Bring your comfort in boxers to another level. It's time to take care of yourself. So go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code TIDYTOT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code TIDYTOT. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. And I have to say, I've been using this for a couple of weeks now, both for my nose and for my nuts, and it has been fantastic. It's very comfortable. There's some great tools on it. If you don't like it cut down to the bone, literally, you can put some clips on it to manage the length and how close it gets to you and how comfortable you are with it. But absolutely fantastic stuff. The Manscaped.com. Cheers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whoever you are. Welcome to a brand new show hosted by myself and everybody. Danny Kyriacou. Around the Clockerall. This is going to be a brand new show where we're going to discuss quite a few things, and it may just get a little bit spicy. And who else could we have thought of to have as 2 guests when you think of the word spicy than the 2 I have right here? And we'll start off with you, Mr. Sean Butler. How are you, brother?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I just had to nip downstairs during the ad to put on my my verbal boxing gloves to take on all 3 of you in various ways over the next 90 minutes. I'm just doing some stretching, and I'm pumped to be here. Thank you for the kind invite.
That's right. I've been doing my stretches as well, ready for the intro, the outro, all the way through. And then obviously, the word controversy, the word spicy, put them together. What have you got? Mr. Box Office himself, the best smile on YouTube, my man Alex. How are you, brother?
Yeah, thank you, Brian. This is going to be just a nice, calm stream. But like I said, Mr. Box Office isn't back in town, like they say, you know what I mean? And the reason why I call myself Mr. Box Office, so people that think I'm Mr. Hype, by the way, I don't do Twitter. So, you know what I mean? So I go on a YouTube channel and make it Box Office. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So, because people just can't handle the truth, like they say, you know? So, big up to you. Big up to Bob Spur, by the way. Big up to him, by the way. Great stream yesterday. So, I had to big him up yesterday. So, yeah. That's all I need to say, and that's it. Well, that's all I need to say. So, yeah.
And before I hand the reins over to Danny, because Danny will be hosting and I'll be dealing with the comments and everything. I have to say, you said calm, Alex. I said, you know what? I said to myself just then, if people thought, right, I need a calm stream, I need 4 people, I think us 4 would be so far down that list for calmness that, but let's give it over to my main man and my brother from another mother and the host of this evening, or this afternoon, shall I say. Danny, how are you, brother?
I'm very good, Brian. Yeah, having some bit of a mic issue. As soon as you bloody called me, my mic just started hearing it twice in the background, and I kept hearing your voice twice. But
it was panicking. Your mic was panicking.
I know it was panicking. It's Brian causing me technical issues already.
So listen, I'm causing you technical issues, and the reason is obviously we all talk about blooper reels and things like this. Now, if you want to hear of a blooper reel, we were deciding how to start this show, and I was like, listen, do we start with the Manscaped video, our sponsors, and thank you Manscaped, and the intro, or do we do the intro and then Manscaped? And we decided to start with Manscaped, and Danny started the video, and only halfway through it, he realised he hadn't pushed go live. As far as
Rookie
bloopers go,
mistake. Rookie host mistake.
we learned by our mistakes, Danny, trust me. And before we get into the content, let's just quickly go through
Before
the
we
comments.
do that, I just want to welcome the two. I like to say two of the biggest personalities on YouTube. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we have. I say both of them are box office, but I mean, one of them is deluded as fuck. Let's just be honest. And the other, and the other one is just an absolute nutter. So, it's a pleasure to welcome you boys both here tonight with us on our first show. So, thank you for coming, boys.
Here you go. So we're going to go through the comments quickly, and then obviously I'll let Danny tell you how this is going to go down. So first of all, I want to say there's only 6 minutes gone, and we've already got over 40 people watching. So thank you very much indeed. We've got Chris Agamar. How you doing, buddy? Thank you very much indeed for coming in. My Achi Ben Kaufman. We have Mick in the building. Sorry, I need to learn to read. We've got Connor. We have got Mark Cousins. Big up. We have William. We have big up Chris all the way in Newcastle. Love ya. We have my superstar and fellow protester. Everywhere we go, Graham is always with you. That's the new Lamella song. Graham, you've got a song. That's it. We've got a super chat already from Wayne Bonner, Mr. 57 screens himself. Brothers, we're all good. And Arsenal, yeah, we're going to be laughing a lot of that later on. Who else we got? We've got Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant. They are going to put on a show for you. Joe 27, El Said. We got Michael Bennett. We have Superman is well and truly in the building. we have Mr. Bob Spur. And you've used Manscaped, mate. Use that code Tiny Tots for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. And yeah, my balls have been saying thank you as well, Bob Spur. Aaron Dub.
Best smell in the business now, isn't it, Brian?
Top dude. We got Dibodom Duta. Thank you. And that is everyone that's in the chat. So also, just to let you know, with super chats that will be coming in, if they come in, I won't be bringing them up immediately because sometimes it spoils the person speaking mid-flow. So when we have a little gap, we will certainly be bringing them up. Every single super chat will be discussed and shown. And Danny, the mic is yours, brother.
Right. So, I mean, boys, where do we begin? I mean, what me and Brian like to call it, it's the weekend of wonder. I mean, this weekend was just, I think it's one of the best weekends being a Spurs fan. I haven't seen a better weekend being a Spurs fan since I've been born, I'd like to probably say. I mean, 1980s, maybe 1970s. Brian, what do you think? I mean,
last weekend was pretty good as well, though.
It was pretty good, but what I'm talking about is that every single rival pretty much lost apart from Chelsea. And Chelsea, we'll forget about them. We're not really in their level at the moment. But everyone we're competing for that full spot with absolutely just lost. It was just unbelievable. West Ham, Arsenal, Man United. It was just glorious, man. So look, I want to kind of get your takes on both of your takes on how this weekend was for you. How did you find it? And yeah, let's start with Mr. Box Office himself.
So before they talk, I just want to say, and I think Sean hit on the point perfectly. We called it the Weekend of Wonders, which it actually was, and we're saying when was the last time it happened. I think Sean hit the hammer on the head. Forget when the first time when this happened. When did it happen 2 weekends in a row? Yeah. That's more to the point. That's it's the fortnight of wonders.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah. Alex, my man.
Yeah, I think the problem is at the moment is that people are focused too much on the rivals and not looking at ourselves at the end of the day. I said multiple times, if you want top 4, you get 70 points or more, and that's it. I don't care about Arsenal. I certainly don't care about Man United, and I don't care about West Ham. Now, for me at the moment, I'm going to keep my counsel what I'm going to say about West Ham anyway, because I've got something controversial to say. I shouldn't say controversial. It's the truth, if I've got to be honest. But, you know, Manchester United, I thought were going to get 4th because I've done it before. They know how to get 70 points or more. But they can't. They're imploding. They're absolutely imploding. They're not playing like a team. They don't like each other, most of them, as players, don't like each other. So at the end of the day, they're an absolute mess. And I think that's a warning to Tottenham fans that, you know, getting great players in the squad doesn't make a great team at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Also, that we have to, you know, be thankful and grateful to Antonio Conte, because you've got to give the guy credit. He has done an absolute miracle with this team. You know what I mean? And to be fair, you know, I didn't see that. I have only just watched the first half again. We were awful in that first half. I've got to be honest. That midfield really got. And Ellie's going to like me saying this. Højbjerg didn't look too bad. It was mental, to be honest with you. I mean, I did admit it to it personally anyway.
Was it just too? It didn't look too bad, Alex. Was it just too bad?
I wouldn't give him too much for that, but I mean, it did still get through him a lot of the time as well, to be honest with you. So, I mean, for me, yeah, there's still a lot of improvements. I'm sorry. I've got to be honest. I think we are going a little bit over the top. I've got to be honest. And I think we need to remind Tottenham fans, top four is not a trophy. Top four is not a trophy. Yes, okay. Carabao Cup, I wouldn't be jumping up and down either, because I've seen it before and we ain't done nothing afterwards. You know what I mean? So it's not going to prove anything to me as far as I'm concerned. I've been there, done that, had the T-shirt. You know what I mean? But top four is not a trophy. You know what I mean? And it won't even spell it being even more difficult next season. But to Conte's credit, he's done absolute miracle with the squad, because if you're seeing the passing from the back with that team, it is really good. It's very good. And that's been coached, drilled in, as far as I'm concerned. So you've got to give a lot of credit to Antonio Conte, and that's it. So yeah, that's all I'll say.
Sean, before we go to you, I just want to say a big up to if Jason, if you're actually, my boy is on a holiday in Cyprus with his family right now. And if you're trying to tune into us, mate, I know you support, mate. Fair play to you, Jason, brother. Fair play to you.
Jason, your data roaming charges might be...
You know what? This guy is such a great supporter. Even when we're on Tottenham away, he shares this on every channel. Every time we do a show, every single Facebook group he's on, he shares every single thing we do. And Jason, fair play, brother. Yep, he is in Cyprus. Yep.
Careful on that data roaming, bro. Those charges can eat you alive when you get home. You think the holiday was expensive, and then a month later you get the bill through from Vodafone, and you're like, "Oh no, Tottenham On Tour wasn't worth this."
Well, it's like we'll be eating Alex alive later on for dinner.
So sure, the weekend we're going to break down these games individually shortly, but let's call it the fortnight. I wonder, what's your overall thoughts on it?
No, I think it turned everybody into a believer, right? Like 2 weeks ago, there was a lot of people who were like, it's just not happening. There's too much of a gap. We're not good enough. We're one injury away, whatever, right? And then bit by bit, everything just kind of went our way, starting with Brentford beating Chelsea 2 weekends ago with that great game and what a performance from Christian Eriksen. Then you had Man United dropping points against Leicester at home, and then obviously West Ham, I think, won that weekend. And then Arsenal, I forget who Arsenal lost to last weekend. Who did Arsenal lose to last weekend?
They lost to Palace.
Palace, right? Yeah. Even Patrick Vieira doing us a solid. And then you shoot for, and then obviously we do our job against Newcastle, close the gap or take out, like completely remove the goal difference problem. And then this week happens, and you don't think it could get any better. And it goes, like, I'll tell you the reason why I think, to an extent, Alex is right not to even worry about the other teams to a degree. Like you look at Manchester United, right? They are in absolute disarray. Yeah, against Everton, right? Have you ever seen a team lose who are trying to qualify for the Champions League, lose to a team who had 32% possession, only 300 passes, like 35% of the passes that Manchester United had, and a pass accuracy of 60%, and still win the game against a team that's trying to qualify for the top four? Man United are falling apart. It's laughable. And when you think that they could bring in Erik ten Hag at any particular point in time, but that guy is not a miracle worker. He's a project builder. And he wants 5 years to turn that ship around. Like, it just couldn't get any better. Tottenham doing what they did yesterday, and obviously with the Brighton result. The only thing that I've got to worry about now is, who do I shout out first? I told you so. All the people that were saying that top four wasn't possible. There's so many people that I want to line up and go, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. I just don't know which order to stack them in. But it's going to be a good time. End of the season's coming thick and fast, and it's going to be a beautiful thing to finish with Champions League qualification. I'm excited.
I mean,
Danny, you going to go first or me?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a beautiful situation we kind of find ourselves in right now at the moment, right? The form is very good. We're scoring goals for fun at the moment, and like you would never have thought this. We've scored 34 goals since the turn of the year, and it's just like it's a bit crazy to think that we've gone from like one of the worst scoring teams, one of the worst running teams in terms of distance, to now the best in both departments, right? So it's really nice to see it, and it does. And what, like you said, Sean, right? I think the biggest thing is giving people a bit more hope and a bit more belief that we can actually do this, that we can actually get top four, especially the fact that the teams who are actually competing with that spot are crumbling at the moment. They're doing really badly. They're both falling apart. I mean, West Ham, they're never in the conversation in the first place. Let's be real, right? The people who think they are deluded, especially West Ham fans, they're all deluded. But I mean, look, this is for me. I think we have to kind of take it still game by game, because the only thing that I have in the back of my head is that when our first 11 play, we play great football, right? We've seen really good passage of plays. Like Alex was saying to me earlier on today, that the passing from the back, we haven't seen this kind of passing from the back for a long time in terms of the confidence playing out from the back. Like under pressure, they were calm. And you could see in the game, if you actually watch back certain moments, Dyer, Davies are both like calm. Like they're communicating with each other to like make sure they don't get too nervous and keep composed. And it's brilliant to see they're kind of working all together as a team. And my biggest worry is that if one of those players in that first 11 right now, it doesn't really matter who, because I think we don't have the depth on the bench to kind of replace someone if, say, Romero gets injured, right? We're not going to have someone of his quality to come in, right? And Davinson Sanchez, he's as unreliable as fuck, right? And then you've got in the middle, if Højbjerg or Bentancur get injured, you've got Harry Winks. It's a huge difference of class, and that could make or break our challenge for top four. So that's why I want to keep it game by game. But right now, I'm happy because obviously what we're seeing in front of us is amazing. So, and long may it continue. So I think, I think we just got to still keep a bit calm on the actual top four charge, because yes, we are in the best position. It's in our hands, but we have been here before, and we have at times failed to get that top four. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But I'm hoping that we all get to see what we all want to see, basically.
Yeah, do you know what? This is why me and Danny are like separated at birth. And literally, I'm sure he's got a chain with half a locket, and I've got a chain, because I wanted to talk everything about from Spurs, and you've gone and spoke about Spurs. So there you go. It's like it was literally all done. So listen, I mean, first of all, I just want to talk about Manchester United. And listen, we're talking about how lucky everything has fallen for us.
Yeah.
How unlucky is Harry Maguire? It had to be him that got the deflection for that own goal, didn't it? It just had to be him. It couldn't be any other defender. It's like when your luck's good, it's good, but when it's bad,
feels like it's cursed at the moment.
Break.
Yeah,
it's like he got, in my opinion, wrongly booed before England.
Yeah,
wrongly
100%.
booed before
100%
England.
should never been booed.
Listen, if you boo a player, then it's because he's got sent off in a major thing, or he's like a Judas and he's done something.
He's played well for England as well. It's not even
this
like
is the thing, Sean. This is the thing. I mean, if you got sent off like a Beckham did or a Rooney did in the World Cup, you kind of know it's coming.
Yeah.
But before a game, when he's been playing well for England and England are flying, but then he had the Leicester game where he didn't cover himself in glory, and then they go to an Everton team that are shot to bits and can't win for nothing. They have one shot, it takes a deflection, and you saw there was another shot they had a little while after where it deflected off someone again and just went over. But for Harry Maguire, it's like, right, this is going. I mean, Harry Maguire just can't catch a break. They've fallen for pieces, and I've been watching a lot of Terry from Football Terrace when Man U, as we do when Arsenal Fan TV lose. And mate, yesterday I literally thought his head was going to explode or his eyes were going to pop out of his head. He was absolutely the rant of rants I saw. And do you know what? fairly so. That club are in disarray from as Ben Kaufman says, the stadium that's falling to pieces.
Yeah.
They don't know what the owners are doing. They don't know what manager to have. They got players that are above their station. They got guys that are smashing phones now. So that's them. And then we come on to Brentford, who have got 2 great results against 2 rivals of ours in the last 2 weeks. And I've said, and people have heard me say it, I even said it when we took over We Are Tottenham TV. They're the game that worry. Apart from Liverpool,
they are the game.
they're the game that worries me. And I've been saying that for quite a while. And they had another fantastic performance again today, as well as they did last week. So there's that game. And just West Ham, mate. I mean, you're losing your place. And then also, you have Tanguy and Dembele scoring against you in Europe. I mean, like I said, you can't write this stuff that's happening to us right now. And obviously, Chelsea. I mean, I'll touch on Chelsea a little bit, and then I'll talk about the filth. So Chelsea, after Brentford and after Real Madrid, everyone was like, "Can we do this? Can we get there? Can we get somewhere?" And then obviously we saw yesterday that Thomas Tuchel has put a rocket up their arse. I mean, Timo Werner hit the post, the bar, the post, and actually scored a goal. You know, someone's lucky in with that. Oh, he scored 2, yeah.
Does he get to take home the goal? Like a hat trick?
Yeah, I heard that in the commentary show. I was like, that was so funny when they did that.
Brian, did you see the stats for him? He scored I think 5 goals in 4 appearances against Southampton, and 4 goals against the whole rest of the Premier League.
So basically, he is Southampton's Joe Linton for us.
Basically, yeah. Exactly that.
Is it basically what you are saying? But yeah, I mean, you look at it, and Chelsea, their goal difference to us, even if we could catch up to them, which I don't think we will, their goal difference, when we say goal difference as a point of how important it is for us with a goal difference with Tottenham and the filth, theirs is like 30 odd goals ahead of us. So I think we could put that to bed. And I think, let's face it, I think they're going out of the Champions League. I don't see them turning over Real Madrid. They might win the game, but I don't think they'll win the tie. And then they can just focus on the league and the FA Cup. And I think that's them cementing third. And now on to our favourite subject. The filth. And, before I talk about the filth, I need to talk about something that's been driving me mad. And it's woke gone mad. Now, obviously, I said this is going to be spicy and controversial. I don't care. Obviously, people know me, and I go, we are going on Tottenham TV. And I've known Sean for a little while. I've known Alex for a good amount of time. I've known Danny for a very good amount of time. And ever since you've all known me, you have known me to call Arsenal the filth. The full time, I may say Arsenal, but it's always the filth. So I said that on We Are Tottenham TV yesterday. And there's a comment that says, Brian, can you stop calling them the filth? It's so schoolboy. It's either Woolwich or Arsenal. And I was like, I've said this for years. I'm not stopping. And then this person goes, my children are from Woolwich. Are my children filth? And I was like, oh my God. I'm calling the team the filth, not the area, not the people. The filth is Arsenal, the enemy, whatever. I was like, oh my God. But now I can talk about them. Like my dad has brought me up to say that every single goal scored against them is goal of the season. And I tell you what, two goals yesterday were absolutely outstanding, especially that second one. And Brighton played them off the park. And just when they started getting big for their boots, just when they started shooting their mouth, and I said it on We Are Tottenham TV when he won Manager of the Month, and I said, that's Arsenal screwed for the month. And look what's happened. I have to admit, I was getting so concerned that that literally St Tottenham's Day might be happening again. That was for me the moment where I would have gone crazier than you've ever seen me. But thankfully, the gift that keeps on giving has struck once again. So before we start breaking down these teams, I can see that we've got a super chat in from my man. Yeah. From the brother, Bobby K, and it leads me on, sir. Big up. Thanks for your help, Brian Dagul on Tottenham On Tour. Really appreciate your help, brother. Kids are very pumped and happy. So, newsflash, breaking news. I don't know if they would have said it. There's 68 people watching. Little Bobby K's, who are like nephews to me. I love this family so much. Have started their own channel.
Wow.
It's going to be called 3 Spurs boys, all one word. I wonder where they got that all one word from.
Hashtag no spaces.
I wonder where it came from. But yeah, so they're doing pre-recorded stuff, little snippets, and I had the honour of being their first guest. So we will be promoting the shit out of that channel. It's not up and running now, but it will be shortly. So please go and give the Kangs all the love that they deserve with 3 Spurs boys. But yeah, Danny, I'm going to hand it back over to you whilst I go through the comments we've missed, whilst I went on my small little let's talk about anything but Spurs.
Go on,
Just before you do, I just want to...
Oh, and a super sticker from Guguma. My bad. Guguma.
How do you miss Guguma's super sticker?
I did. You know what? I'm going through. Guguma, I apologise, darling. Yeah, sorry, Sean, you were about to say.
Yeah, so it took me 2 seconds to figure this out yesterday, and I put it in a bunch of comments on WhatsApp groups, and nobody gave me any love for it. And I think it needs to be shouted out in a bigger audience. The guy who scored the winner for Brighton, his name is Enoch Mwepu. That is an anagram for "fuck me now, P." And I thought that was brilliant because he smashed right through Arsenal.
That's brilliant.
So what I'm about to say on top of that is, were you told that, or did you just literally sit there?
I figured it out.
And go like, oh my God, I can see letters. I can see letters.
I got a pen out. I was like, how can I spell this a different way? Well, please, can something good come from it? Fuck me now, P.
Mate, I have to say.
That's going to be Stell's new one.
Do you know what? And I mean, because we'll talk about. We were going to talk about Arsenal first anyway, because they were. Oh no, Everton. But I have to say now we talk about Brighton. Match of the day yesterday. I don't know if it was that guy or the other midfielder. But match of the day did a synopsis about the end of the game. Was it him or was it the other player where they spoke about and how brilliant he was? He said his hero was Kante. Whoever that guy was that played for Brighton yesterday, and if anyone watched match of the day and can remember who it was, please put it in the comments.
Which player?
Everyone's talking about Bissouma, the guy that match of the day highlighted yesterday after the Brighton game was absolutely incredible.
He wasn't the guy who scored the goal, was it?
I can't remember if it was the guy that scored the goal or did the assist to set the second goal.
I think they're talking about the guy who did the assist because I don't think I've seen him before.
He was
got the first goal and Mwepu got the second. If it wasn't one of those two, it was the guy who got the assist. Yeah,
I think it was the guy that got the assist. He was immense. He was immense. But that will come to the filter. The first game we're going to talk about is obviously what one was it? United Everton.
Yeah, well, we could talk about all 3 of the games. Whichever one you guys want to talk about first. I mean, yeah, United Everton. We've got obviously the Brighton Arsenal game, and obviously, yeah. What would you like to talk about first, boys? What's on your minds? Tell me.
I'm happy that Everton won. I don't want them going down because I think that's a bit of a worry for some of the teams because I think people forget that they've been in the Premier League for a very, very long time, an awful long time. So
the whole time,
them
they've never been out of the Premier League. They've been in the start. Yeah, and
I think it'd be very worrying if they do go down. To be honest with you, I think it'd be a shockwave. To be honest with you, but yeah, I've got a few things to say on that, but I will leave that later for the segment you got later. But yeah, I'm glad that they won. I'm glad that Leeds won. I want Leeds to stay up because I think they're very good for the Premier League. I call them box office, because they are a team that are, you
represent
watch them.
You?
No, I just say that they're like a box office team that you can't not ignore. You know what I mean?
You can't call everything box office, Alex.
No, but I think maybe I could think of something else. But they're the team that you take note of, and I hope that they do stay up. But yeah, I feel bad for Burnley. But is what it is, and it's a shame. I mean, I think Brighton were kind of getting themselves dragged in, but I think that result was good in terms for Everton. Like I said, I've spoken about Man United. They just do not look like they get on with each other, let alone play like a team at all. So, I mean, I'll be worried for them whether they're going to even get into Europe next season, and the problems that they got next season. Ten Hag's got a lot to do there if he comes in. Chelsea, I think Tottenham fans were a bit premature laughing at Chelsea. The fact is, Chelsea have won mainly everything, at the end of the day. I'm not going to get into what's going on in outside of football because that's not. I can't get into that. You know what I mean? I can't get into that. But from what I see there, and the only thing I didn't understand with the Brentford game last week, that was the same team mainly that have been doing well the last season or so. So I don't understand why they were playing so badly against Brentford. It just looked like they just gave up, which was a bit worrying for me. So I still couldn't really understand that, to be honest with you. So yeah, that was a bit of a confusion for me. But we're never going to be on their level. The only way that we're going to be not on their level if Tuchel leaves or Chelsea lose the ball a little bit. That's it for me, and that's it. But yeah, I think those are the results. Leicester again worry me. Leicester City definitely again worry me.
Why is that, Alex? Is that because they've now got their players back from injury?
Well, they seem to always find these gems and get this team mentality going. They've got a young player in that midfield that I forgot his name now.
Brilliant.
That
comment by Dan, I just have to say, it's fucking brilliant.
No, Maddison's playing well, but there's also the guy next to him as well. Tillemans has been another guy that I've been keeping an eye on. We could have got him. Pardon?
Ndidi.
No. He's an English guy. I can't remember his name now.
Wayne's in the chat. Wayne Holland is a very, very good friend of mine. Who'll know if you're talking Leicester. Just describe the player you're talking about, and
he's an English guy. Hill. Yeah, Dewsbury Hall. That's it. Yeah, that's it. There you go. Yeah, and then there's another player as well that's come back from injury on the right back as well. That's a good player as well. Forgot his name now as well. But pardon? No. Yeah, him as well. But another English player as well, which I can't remember at the top of my head as well. Sorry, guys, my memory's not great. But yeah, they're just a good team. I mean, Brendan Rodgers has just said that he's going to try and rebuild a team as well. It looks like Tillemans might leave. Allegedly, because I don't know. We don't know yet. So that'll be interesting. But they'll find somebody to take his place, and they'll find another way of playing because they've got a good scouting network at the end of the day. And this is where I look at people like Paratici at the end of the day, who I still don't rate at all, to be honest with you, even though he's got two rejects in, as far as I'm concerned. So you know what I mean?
There it is,
at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Because they keep on saying Don, they keep on calling him Don, and that's it. And every single time we win a game, and Kulaszewski's in that game, or Bittercourt's in that game, oh, we're so good, they're so good. Oh my God, I love him so much. Oh my God, I love him. Oh, he's such a Don. He's such a Don. It's like, what are you talking about?
Alex, they're not rejects, mate. There's I think the word you're looking for is like dispensable. Like there's players at football clubs that are indispensable, like a Harry Kane. There's no money that's worth trading in for. But like players like the two that you're talking about, they weren't rejects just because they were let go by a club. They were dispensable. They for the right money to allow Juventus to do what they needed to do with their striker option with Vlahovic. Like it doesn't mean that they're rejects, bro. It just means that they weren't indispensable. They weren't invaluable or priceless. And that's the same for 99% of footballers. Every man's got his price. And for
everyone's
them,
got their price, but in my eyes, Sean, they are rejects. As simple as that.
Alex,
they are rejects.
You know what, Alex?
The thing is, though, I have to say this. I have Justin, and those two players, yes. But to be fair to the two players, they've improved our squad and they've made a massive impact. And they've made us more as a team. And to be fair, that front three are working well together. Yes, they are. I still feel
best front three in Premiership history, I reckon.
Well, I think you're going with the top there. I've got to be honest.
Name me a better front three in Premiership history.
Before we do that, I just want to say thank you to Kaguma and thank you to Rez for the super stickers. We really appreciate it, guys. Sorry, carry on.
I think you're clutching at straws. At the end of the day, they played one game a week, Tottenham. They played one game a week. Yeah. Okay. We're all jumping up and down because West Ham lost
and scored on average 4 goals
every week. We are jumping up and down because West Ham lost today. Yeah, I just need to remind Tottenham fans they're still in Europe at the moment. They're still in the Europa League, which is not an average competition. Not an average competition at the end of the day. Yes, the Conference League is actually competition. Yes, it is. But the Europa League is a respectable competition now. It's a respectable competition now, which they could win. They could win. I'm going to keep my counsel on that because I've got another point on that. So I'm not going to say any more.
I want to ask you a question, mate. I want to get to the bottom, right, of why you seem to think that these players are rejects. Because let's be honest, right, they're the best players. They're some of the best players in our squad that we've had in years, right? Kulaszewski is one of the best youngsters I've seen at Tottenham for God knows how long, right? I can't remember the last January signing we signed that has done something this amazing in a short space of time. There hasn't been one, right? In my lifetime being a Spurs fan, right? I was saying to you earlier, Alex, right? My dad, right? He's a bit like Scott M, right? My dad's like you, Scott M, yeah? He slates every player. He doesn't respect any player. Even if they play well, he don't give a shit. He's like, nope, they're shit, right? He came to me yesterday and he was like, that Kulaszewski is a good player. Now, for him to say that, right, it tells me that he is a good player. And the word he said to me was he's intelligent, right? Because and that's the thing, you can see the intelligence in him, right? Now, I think you need to change the way you say the word reject to actually describe him in the right way, right? Because reject is not the word to use. Okay, in a sense, you could say they're a reject, but I want to understand why you actually believe they are rejects, because these are players that just didn't fit their system and the manager just didn't want them anymore. It doesn't necessarily mean they're rejects, right? Because if they are rejects, then I would have fucking a million rejects in our team that play like them.
It's funny you say that, Danny. It's funny you say that. And Alex, you will be answering. Then we'll get Sean to answer this question. Because Mari, Mr. Smooth Criminal Hat himself, Mr. Love Lounge, has just said, Juve, please send us more rejects. Yeah. Salah and De Bruyne are Chelsea rejects.
Big up, Mari.
But now, with that kind of thing set, Alex, it's over for you.
Answer the question, Alex.
There's somebody at the door.
Firstly,
ding dong, ding dong. It's the delusion at the door. Ding dong.
No. Don't behave yourself. Behave. Yeah, you Mister, you try and no.
Go. I bet you go.
No. You're all right, Sean. You're all straight. I'm only joking with you.
Same.
Listen, right? Salah was not a reject. I'm sorry. Salah was not a reject. He went to Roma, bossed it in Roma. Where was he? Was it Roma or Fiorentina? I have to be correct, don't I? Was it Fiorentina or Roma? Was it Fiorentina or Roma? Was it
Roma, wasn't it?
Roma, wasn't it?
What are we talking about? Sorry, Alex.
Salah.
Salah was at Roma. So he went to Fiorentina. He was at Basel. Came to Chelsea, was at Fiorentina. He was playing for Fiorentina against us. He played for Basel against us. Yeah. Then he went to Roma, and then Liverpool bought him from Roma.
Yeah, he wasn't a reject. He wasn't a reject in the Italian league. He was not. He was bossing it then. Chelsea just didn't know what they got. They thought, they had too much of a good thing as far as I'm concerned. They didn't know what good player they had. They had too many players. So as far as I'm concerned, he's not a reject. De Bruyne, again, was not a reject again. Because he went to Germany, bossed it then, and then Manchester City went on and got him. We waited to the end of the transfer window, and he got lucky with that signing, those two signings. Now, for me, maybe I need to change my wording. You are right, Danny. You are right, because the fact is...
Alex, can you say that again, please?
I have to change my wording, because the thing is, though, to be fair to Mari...
You are right.
Yeah. To be fair to Mari, and what's her name from the cheese word?
Shannon.
Shannon. I don't want to get her name wrong. That's why. Because those two, I'm not trying to, because they were the two that I have to. I wish I could apologise to Shannon, because she was on it as well. She said to me that Romero is world class. He said he's world class, yeah, and they were pushing it with me. Mari as well. And I had to apologise to Mari. I haven't been able to apologise to Shannon, but I had to apologise to those two, because when I saw him, he's absolutely world class. Absolutely world class. 100%. Okay? And I don't care what anybody else says to me, because anybody on the football test told me, oh, well, he's not that. No, yes, he is. He is. So, because I've seen it. at the stadium. You know what I mean? You can feel it.
Who?
Well, Mero's
Alex, you've been clipped by the king of the Clippers. You have been clipped by the king of the Clippers.
He's still deluded. He's still deluded.
Cody,
He's still deluded. I'm sorry, he's Mr. Deluded here. You know what I mean? Don't start. Don't get me started, Daddy. Anyway, don't get me started. But anyway, that's what I need to say. What I say is,
Alex.
No, here we go.
Love that.
Here we go.
Mr. Post Office.
Yeah, but I will say this. I will still stick by my point that it's more to have a go at strategy as far as I'm concerned, because I'm sorry, he needs to do more. And I've explained it on my channel why he needs to do more, even after Conte leaves, because I don't think he's got a clue. After Conte leaves. And the proof is in the pudding after Juventus. I'll tell you that as well. What you see in the Juventus as well. But my point is, he needs more time. They need more time. Bentancur struggled in that first half. He struggled. Even Kulu struggled in that first half. The whole team did, to be honest with you. Okay. But my point is that I think they just need more time so you can see them at a time frame where you can see their progression. You know what I mean? And then we'll see whether if they go for a bad run, like Dele Alli did, and he didn't recover, unfortunately, we'll see what he does after that. You see what I'm saying?
Bad marathon for him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Shorty boy.
Pardon?
Over to Shorty boy.
Oh, yeah, go.
What about rejects?
Talk about rejects. I forgot where. Yeah, let's just carry on with rejects. We'll do rejects, and then we're going to get to the spicy part of the show. We'll so people know, we're each going to bring up a controversial subject. The person that's bringing the subject up will talk like it's this opening session in court, and then basically all bets are off, and away we go. So yeah, let's talk about rejects with you, Sean.
Before you do that, we've got 80 people watching tonight. So we would love it, guys, if you haven't done, please smash that like button, because it really helps the channel a lot. You don't understand how much it does help. So please smash it. And if you haven't subscribed, if there's any new people in here, please subscribe as well, because we've got a lot more of this content coming up.
Yeah, I just think that the reject thing is. So I don't understand whether you're saying that anybody who leaves any club and goes to another club is therefore a reject of the selling club. If that's the case, then literally every single player in world football who hasn't only been a one club man is a reject of some sort.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're just saying it because Juventus are a bigger team than Tottenham traditionally and in Europe and all that stuff, and that we're taking players from a bigger name, a bigger team down to us, then, I think you could also make that same case for, again, 80% of clubs out there that would buy players on the way down there's only three styles of acquisition of players, right? There's people that come through the clubs that build their youth team, clubs that look to buy the best that their level can afford at whatever stage of that person's career, or they look to buy young and hope that person creates more value in the future. And the vast majority of those players in any of those buckets are going to be deemed a reject by Alex's term, by Alex's use of the term. I just think I think it's more about dispensability. I think if a club sees that there are players that they have that have certain values attached to them that don't fit a certain system, that don't fit a certain manager's plans, or that need to be, or that club is desperate to fill a different position because of injuries or because of whatever they need for their own ambitions, and that costs money. How do they raise that money? Well, they have to sell before they can buy, which is the case for, again, 99% of clubs, apart from ones that have got sugar daddies. Then, there's no reason to call them rejects just because the selling club deems them as surplus to requirements. You're either indispensable or you're dispensable. It's two things, two types of player. One of them is someone that you don't want to sell at any cost, and there's very, very few of them in the world. Everybody else has got its mark, its price tag. And Kulaszewski and Bentancur had theirs, and we were, you call it luck on the part of Paratici. Luck or skill, that's just in the eye of how you want to have a subjective opinion over the person who does the trade. And I know you don't like Paratici. I don't know why you don't like him, but for me, you call it luck. Most people who have got a more of a balanced approach to the guy, he's only been here for a year and a half, and in that time, He's made the best 3 transfers that Tottenham have had in the God knows how long. You know, he signed these 2, plus he signed Romero. I know he also got in Galini and stuff like that, but he hasn't really ballsed it up with any of the major, apart from maybe Emerson. You could argue but Emerson was brought in to play under a different manager, under a different system. So horses.
And you could say that for Brian Hill as well, Sean. You could say the same for him, because Conte wouldn't have bought Brian Hill if it was.
He doesn't fit
It doesn't fit a Conte system, like his physicality, his age, his ability wise in terms of Premier League. Whereas Kulaszewski's he's built for the Premier League sort of thing in terms of his physical attributes. And I think with Paratici, I think Alex just wants to see more from him, and I get it, right? Because look, you have to understand.
He can't do anything more until the summer, can he? So
no, but do you know what? Right, it's like we have to remember he's only had 2 windows with us, right? And in those 2 windows, he's got rid of a lot of deadwood already. He's got rid of players that we've been wanting gone for years, and we need to see if he can get rid of some more. I mean, look, I've just killed Alex with my comments, so.
Alex has the perfect ability to demonstrate his thoughts on something without having to speak sometimes. He just goes...
Well, firstly, I have to big up Holly. I've quietly been watching her streams, and to be honest, she's done an absolutely fantastic job. So big up to you, Holly, by the way. Big up to you.
Was Gerard Piqué a Man United reject when he went to Barcelona?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good argument there. I will say in my teeth. I will say that's a good argument there, Sean. I will say that, yes. However,
would you say I'm right?
No, I'm not.
Please say it.
No.
He lent in.
No, I won't say that. I'm sorry, Danny. What are you talking about? He's given away Dele Alli for a free.
Oh, amazing! I fucking love it. Yes, he's gone.
Living up for free. Oh, Rez, don't even start with me, bro. Honestly, do not get me started. Honestly, Rez, I bantered him out the building yesterday. Honestly, that was the most easiest job in the world, bro. Honestly.
Gimme,
but here we go. But my point is, like I said before, he's let go of all those players. Yeah, where's the money? Where's the money? We still got to pay for Romero, by the way.
We've got him off our wage bill. We saved nearly 40 million on our wage bill for the season. Did you know that?
Okay, great. But where's the money coming from?
That is great. We got rid of players who don't want to play for the team anymore.
Yeah. Alex, I just want to say, when you say where's the money,
900 grand, £1 million a week, haven't we? Selling, get rid of those players off the wage bill.
Yeah.
When you say where's the money, you're taking me down a whole different path.
Money.
And that man is going to come up. There is just a spoiler alert. A Levy round is coming up, but not as you'd know it. There's a twist to it. This time there is a twist to it. There is a Levy round coming, but not as you know it. And I just want to say, Ben, thank you for the super chat, brother. Dele, 1 billion. I mean, me and Alex have had words about this, and it's just gone to show he can't even get into the goddamn Everton team. He can't get into the goddamn Everton team.
I think that's a bit harsh.
He can't get into Everton.
I think that's a bit harsh.
But how
listen, that's a bit harsh. Listen, signing doesn't. Listen, look at Bell. Look what happened with Bell. Look what happened with Bell the first time round. He couldn't even get into the team, and when he got into the team, he kept on losing. So I'm sorry. I think that's a bit harsh. You say
when Bale got into the team, what are you talking about? Tottenham when he came back?
Bell came first time round. This is the first time round I'm talking about. Yeah. He couldn't get into the team at Tottenham. When he got into the team, we lost. We had a record with him in the team, and we were losing all the time. So for me,
it wasn't his fault. We were losing. Yeah, that was just a statistic that was.
Yeah, I know. But the point I'm making is signings do take a little bit of time. Now, for me, it's not his fault as far as I'm concerned as well. I think Lampard's made a bad judgment as far as I'm concerned as well, because he's brought him in and he's thinking, how do I fit in Dele Alli? You know,
what's happened, Alex, is he's brought him in and he's seen how shit he is. He doesn't give a fuck about football anymore. That's what he's seen. Just like what most Spurs fans have seen for the last 3.5 years, nearly. He's seen a player he can't trust and can't rely upon. That's why he's not in the team. Because
when Everton went to Newcastle and Newcastle scored the goal that gave them the 3 points when Newcastle just started turning their form around. Dele Alli lost the ball on the centre circle. Oh, sorry, lost the ball just outside, like 5-10 yards outside the Everton box. And players that were the Everton strikers, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, they got back into the box to try and chase the ball down before the goal was. That Dele Alli was stood still where he was. He did not give a fuck. And when that game was watched back, no doubt, by Lampard and the coaching staff the next day, they probably went, what the fuck have we signed here? This kid does not care. And he hasn't played 20 minutes since. And that was
I just want to say one thing, and then I'm going to let sparks fly again. Rez, I love you, but I can't look at. I know you're joking about and whatever. I can't see the word Vertonghen and reject, even in jest put together. Alex Logic Vertonghen, one of the best defenders we have ever had. Rez, you know, I'm joking when I say I can't see those two words together, even in a joke. Vertonghen is a god to me and my second favourite ever Spurs player. And he knows I'm joking when I say this. Those two words just can't go together for me. It really can't.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like it's one of those things, right? Do you know what, Alex? Finish what you were gonna say, because I think it's gonna take time. I think at the moment he's mixed up with what he's doing as a player at the moment. I think there might be other issues as well there. It's not for me to say because I don't know the player. But I mean, I'm not like his biggest fan, no. But I think, you know, like I said, signings have their ways of doing well, and it might be just the environment. I don't know what it is all about as far as I'm concerned. But I think at the end of the day, we have to take things. You know, things take time for people to grow. You see what I'm saying? And there's reasons why players do well. There's reasons why players don't do well. You see what I'm saying? It's not. There's no Pacifics in that, as far as I'm concerned. So
I'd agree with you as much as that. Frank Lampard doesn't play a formation that naturally suits even Dele Alli at his best.
Yeah,
it does. Everton don't play a formation that suits Dele Alli. So
you make a good point about. You do make a good point about if he didn't track back. That's a good point.
It was embarrassing.
But
he lost the ball and he just stood there and watched.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, you know, you do learn anyway. I mean, I still say at the moment that, you know, if we still have Poch, I don't want to go back to Poch because we have to move on. You know, Lo Celso and Ndombele would be better players, 100%.
In a Poch formation.
Yeah. Well, no, because not just in the Poch formation. I think it's just the environment. You see what I'm saying? If Poch was given more time, which he deserved at that time, to be honest with you, because he was going through a bad patch, I think we would have seen the best of Ndombele and Lo Celso, even definitely in the following season as well. You see what I'm saying? Because I would have formations
do matter, and it was one of the things that worries me about what we've got to do in the summer is the fact that, look, as much as we'd all love Conte, you know, like there was 6 weeks ago there was rumours that he was going to leave in the summer. Now we all think he's going to stay at least until the end of his contract, which is only end of next summer. He's never signed he's never been at any club for 4 or 5 years. Yet when you go and buy players, you sign them on 4 or 5 year contracts. And if we go and sign a left-sided centre-back to improve on Ben Davies, a central centre-back to improve on Eric Dyer, a better right wing-back, those sorts of players specific for a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, and then Conte fucks off in 18 months' time, the next manager that comes in better play the same formation. Otherwise, we're going to have a whole bunch of new square pegs.
Sure. I was saying this. This is why I give strategy a flack at the moment. I don't think he's got a clue. I don't know how you.
Bob,
you look at his time at Juventus, Bob. You look at his time at Juventus. Look at his time at Juventus.
Yeah, but
Allegri. Look at what happened after Allegri, bro. Look at his time after Allegri.
No, but what I'm saying is, though,
and who's making the deals? Who's making the deals then? Who's making the final deals?
Should Paratici be signing players on the presumption that Antonio Conte is not going to be here? Or should he be signing players for the manager that we have, and then we hope that the next manager...
to a philosophy, bro. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
A philosophy or a formation? Because a philosophy could be...
And whether it's a philosophy or formation, my point is we need to be sticking to the way that we are playing, whether it's Conte's there or not. Whether Kane's there or not.
How would you describe Conte's philosophy?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
Back three. From what I see,
No, not formation.
That's a
philosophy.
formation. How would you describe his philosophy? Does he play like attacking football? Does he play keep ball? Does he play like aggressive? Does he play? Describe the philosophy that you would want.
I'll say he plays a measured attacking football that is possession based.
You can do that with a back four.
More based with the wing backs. I'll say more because he's more suited for the back three. That's what
you go and spend 50 million quid on or 100 million quid on the fella from Bastoni. Let's go and say dream world scenario. You go and sign a Bastoni for 80 million quid who plays a specific left-sided centre back role, right? And then Conte walks away 18 months later, and we bring in, just for argument's sake, Pochettino. Doesn't have to be Pochettino, but just for argument's sake, who plays a back four. Bastoni doesn't play the left side of a two centre back. He plays the left side of a three centre back. You can't account for managerial changes that don't necessarily play the same formation. And if your accusation about Paratici is that he failed because one manager suited and the next manager didn't, that's not something that Paratici can account for. That's down to the chairman to sign a manager that not only fits the philosophy, but also keeps the formation. Otherwise, you're signing players on 5-year deals for 2-year managers and you're fucked. And Tottenham will go through the 25th year of a 3-year rebuild.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Sean, this is where your point falls down. He made the change when he came in. He made a change from what Steve Hitchens' list was, from Graham Potter from other managers on that list to Ten Hag and all those other managers to the managers that he wanted, right? Because he wanted more balanced football. That's his words. That's what he wants as well, by the way. Yeah, right. And then he tried to get in Gattuso and tried to get in Nuno. Now, I've had an argument with people personally about this. My dad personally, love him to bits, absolutely love him to bits. But you know,
no.
I will never say that. No, I will never say that about my dad. I will never say that about my dad because I love him to bits.
Everyone has to qualify. I love this guy, but fuck me, was I having a pissed off argument?
You know what? We've had a super chat come in. We're going to go round the horn on this very quickly.
Sorry,
and then we're going to then sparks are going to fly. Then we're going to bring the controversy. So it's from Mari. Thanks again, Mari, brother. We're going to start with you, Alex, for you, and then we'll go Sean, Danny, me. Kulu's potential, or Kulaszewski, let me say. Kulaszewski's. Where do you think?
He's very good. He is very good in his time. He's 21 years old. I still think there's going to be a time when he's going to have a bad vein of form. We have to also count injuries as well. Also account whether when Conte leaves as well, whether he's going to carry on doing that as well, the motivation as well. So for me, yeah, he's definitely better than Moura, 100%, 110%. You know, he benefits Son and Kane as well, but I think we still have to be very calm on him because I think, you know, a good start can always lead to a bad rate of form as well. Because look at Fernandes, for instance. We don't talk about Fernandes anymore, don't we? We don't talk about Fernandes anymore. Yeah. We don't anymore. He's fallen apart. And look how great he was at the beginning when he started. Look how great he started. Another person, Bergwijn. Another person, Dele Alli. You know what I mean? You know, it's about...
We had 3 good years out of Dele Alli, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. But the point is, when you have bad vein of form, things started to tail off again. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't able to get it back. So for me, at the moment, I still think, you know, we have to give it time. You know what I mean? They've got great potential and they've done very well. They've impacted the team. But, you know, I think it's more to do with Antonio Conte and the fact that we've had one game a week as well, because that's helped us a lot as well. And Antonio Conte, more than, you know, just Kulaszewski, mate, they've done a lot in terms of doing things, but I still think if they were playing 2 games a week, I think they'll struggle. And that's it. And that's all I will say on that. You know what I mean? It would have been interesting to see how we were done in the European Conference League, because I would have loved to, I would have wanted to win that this year anyway. That would have been our trophy.
If we were still in that tournament, we wouldn't be in the top 4 race.
No way.
Alex,
no way.
Sean, Sean, your thoughts on Kulaszewski and his potential?
He's my favourite player. I mean, if you check the tape way back in January or December, even when we started talking about, I was saying I don't want this Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz doesn't. He might be a great player, but he doesn't. We don't need. That's the one area of the pitch we don't need him. Give me Kulaszewski. We got Kulaszewski. I was over the moon. He hasn't let me down at all. I think the guy. You know, people say he hasn't got pace. He has got pace. He's just not as fast as people that have got uber pace in our team.
Yeah.
People say that he's one-footed. I thought he was one-footed at the start. He's not. He just likes his left foot, but his right foot now is shown up and started to do the business. The guy's got patience, but he takes like 2 seconds, but absorbs everything that's going on and figures out what's the best distribution of the ball. Do I shoot? Do I cross? Do I pass? Do I hold the ball up? And if he does hold the ball up, he's got the strength of 3 men. He's also built like he's got Superman strength. That challenge that Tyrone Mings put on him in yesterday's game was a potential career-ending injury, and he rolled around for 10 seconds, then got up and got on with the game and went on to put in an 8.5 out of 10 performance. I think the guy's got sky-high potential. I can't wait until we get that contract locked down so that I can get my shirt with Kulaszewski on the back. And I think the guy's just out of this world. I can't fault the guy, really. The only thing I was getting a little bit worried about was in the last couple of games, I didn't see him take a shot. And I didn't want what happened to him, what happened to Lucas Moura, where Lucas Moura was almost felt like he was inferior and didn't have the right to take a shot because it was always better to give it to Sonny or Kane. And, you know, yesterday he only had 25 touches of the ball, or 24 touches of the ball, yet got an assist and got a goal. And it was a pivotal goal as well, the second goal, when it could have gone either way.
Oh, the lovely goal.
Brilliant finish. I think the guy's just got it's not even potential. I think the guy's already at 21 one of the most exciting players in the Premier League, and if we can get him signed, the other problem is sometimes you sign people that are on loan, they play for contracts. I take Alex's point, like who knows what's around the corner, but all you can do is judge him on what we've seen so far. And to me, he's I'd say he's the signing of the January window across Europe. But I would say the only person that's better, that maybe you could argue is a more impactful signing, is the other guy we got, Bentancur. So I love him.
Yeah. I mean, for me as well, I think, Sean, you were spot on. You've been saying it when we were linked with him. You're like, you wanted him more than Diaz.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, with him, he actually is perfect for what we need. And I think the best thing that I like about him is his intelligence. I think he's such an intelligent player. It's such a beautiful thing to watch a football player with a high football intelligence, right? Because he just knows what to do before anyone's done something. He's one step ahead of everyone else, right?
Yeah.
He's already planning what his next move is, his next passes, his next crosses. He already knows what he's going to do. And that's why he looks so effective. And I love the fact that he's direct. He doesn't stop running. He's an engine. He does defensive work as well as he does the attacking work. And what I love about him, and like Sean was saying, like and I've been saying this from the moment I saw him, right? He doesn't have this like raw pace like say a Lucas Moura does or say as Mohamed Salah does. But when he's up against his man, right, man to man, he's got that burst of acceleration that takes him away from a player like they're not even there. And like he can just burn past someone, right? If he's standing against him, he'll just take that touch on his left foot and he will burn past someone. And you've seen it time and time again. And like, how many times have we seen Kulaszewski put defenders on the floor because of his little shimmies, his little dummies? Because he's smart, he knows what he's doing, right? So he's cool. He's cool in the box. He's composed. He's cool in and around the box. He's composed. He can cross a ball, and he makes it look easy because for him it is easy because he's such a clever player, and that's what I like about him. And for someone who's built like that at 21 years old, I mean, the sky is the limit for how good this guy can be. I mean, Gerrard has already said he's already a threat right now. Like, imagine what he could be like in a full, like even next season with a full pre-season of a Conte pre-season, how good this guy could be in terms of fitness wise, even stronger, even faster. He could be even more ingrained into the mentality and the philosophy Conte wants to bring into this team, right? And especially if Conte gets some players that he wants, I think we're looking at a very good season next season if we keep going the way we go and we get into that top four. And I think he's been a revelation. I think he's been the most, for me, I love Bentancur as well, right? But I think Kulaszewski's been the real kind of shining light on who we've got right now, sort of second half of the season. in terms of like, obviously we know Harry Kane and Son, we know what their level's like. They've obviously gone up in their level as well. But I think for someone like Kulaszewski, that young, to come into the Premier League, right, and hit the ground the way he's hit the ground, he's hitting numbers better than what most Premier League players are hitting, and they've been in the Premier League for years. And he's not even been here like 6 months. It's amazing, and I hope it continues, man, because he for a young player, he's so good. He's so good already.
So the thing I say with Kulaszewski is, and Sean will know this because Sean and I were on a very infamous stream when Matt Hayes joined us when the news of these two players broke.
Yeah,
and
you looked a little bit heartbroken that day.
No, I wasn't heartbroken. I think I went full down. I think I had a breakdown. I think I had a nervous, mental, and emotional breakdown live on the Irish Hotspurs channel. And I said at the time I knew a little bit about Kulaszewski and I was impressed with what I had seen. I didn't know enough about Bentancur. But the great thing I will say, I mean, Holly Agabar brings up I think it was Holly that said it, and everyone go check out Holly's channel, where she was saying that Kulaszewski's already done more since January than Dembele's done in his entire Spurs career. And then the other one that I saw, and I can't remember who said this, and I've taken this, and I always mention I got this from someone, it wasn't me that said it. It's you look at Brian Hill, a 21-year-old that came over from Spain and is building his physique, and does he speak English, which is a huge part wherever you go. Like when an Englishman goes abroad and he has to learn a foreign language, it's a huge part for that and their family. And you look at what Brian Hill could have brought to the team, and then you look at Kulaszewski, who is exactly the same age, speaks fluent English, is built for the Premier League, is built for us. And then the first time I got to see him live, I saw him come on against Brighton, and it was quite a big part to play in the second half. He created quite a bit. But the first time I really got to see him live was at the game where I was with Sean, and I was with you as well, Davies, was the Wolves game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe also we were with Mrs. Kyriacou for that game as well.
She was actually watching a moment ago. She was actually watching.
Was she?
Yeah,
So I hope she's still watching because she would have heard that. And what I took from that is I really thought the pace was going to be an issue with him. I really thought he was going to struggle with the pace, especially when we heard people saying he may be a right wing back, which we've seen that he is not. But boy, is his footballing brain, like Teddy Sheringham, this guy don't need pace. His footballing brain and linking up with Harry Kane is incredible. And you know what? Like Sean said, we're all saying, do you know what? We want to see him shoot more. We want to see him score more. So we know he's predominantly left-footed. So what does he do? He goes on the left side and scores with a right-footed shot. It was like, well, there you go. Shut your noise. This guy's potential, it's very hard to say, oh, my God, he's right up there. And I've heard people, and this is one thing I don't like, when people say, oh, he's going to be the next Gareth Bale. We have to stop doing this. After a player's had like 8 or 9 great games, Gareth Bale was a left winger that had explosive pace, incredible power behind his shot, and could just absolutely skin you alive. Kulaszewski is not blessed with pace. Kulaszewski,
he's not slow.
And we've got to stop doing this after a guy's had 8 or 9 games, especially at 21. Say, do you know what? He's the next, whatever it may be. So for me, Kulaszewski's potential is right out there. The talking point I have had with him is, do you activate the 25 million or whatever the fee is now and pay for him now, or he's contractually obliged to be with us next season? Do you save that money and put that towards whatever transfer budget we have this summer? And I was more on the latter. But you know what? The more and more I see of him, it's like, just get this guy signed up. Just get this guy signed.
The last guy we rushed to sign up on an early conversion though was Giovanni Lo Celso, and look what happened there. I don't know.
You make a good point. You make a good point there. You know what I mean? But the problem is, though, is there's a balance to it as well. That other teams might try and snap him up as well, isn't it? You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm still calm with it. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, though, we have to think about how much money we've got at the end of the day to fund all these signings at the end of the day. But I think you do make a good point, Brian. That you would sign him up now, wouldn't you? Because other teams will be be trying to look at him thinking, oh yeah, he looks good, especially in the Premier League.
I'd happily sign him now.
I think
Also, like like that whole. I don't know if you guys have seen the new rules on the financial fair play. It's now called UEFA Sustainability Rules. Like there's lots of new changes that are coming in.
I heard about that
as of June. And one of the ones that's going to fly under the radar is essentially that you can't, if you have any creditors, i.e., if you owe money to anybody, including football clubs, if you miss a single tranche of those payments, then you essentially you'll get deducted, or you'll get fines initially, and you get deducted points, and then whatever else happens after that. But the point I'll make is that's probably going to.
Sorry to interrupt you. Is that if you miss a payment? So if you've got an structured installment payment of say for example, Kulaszewski, right, where it's structured a deal the way they've structured it. If they want
$2 million a month for the next,
so they have. You're saying that if they miss a payment of that to the club they owe money to, they can get point deducted, fines.
Well, it wouldn't be points first. It would be. It's like a cascading effect. It starts with fines, then multiple fines, then 10x the fine, then it's points, and then it can be relegation. But I think that what's going to happen there is that they're going to check those. It's going to be every quarter. They're going to do these reviews saying, have you made those payments every quarter? And if you have missed one, then you get the fines and stuff. So I think what you're going to find is that might shift some of the ways in which the structures of payments for players change. It might mean that people go more towards just going, I want to do monthly installments, or it might mean they might just go, you know what, I don't know where the future is going to be for us financially, but right now we've got a cash budget, we've got like a treasure trove, so let's get this done and then not have to worry about that stuff. I'm actually going to do a video on it because I meant to do it a couple of days ago, but a lot of people aren't interested in that side of it, but
I definitely am.
I will be, Sean. And do you know what, Sean? I have to say this, and people will know you and me have had our battles regarding finance. I don't think there's a person on YouTube that I'd rather hear that kind of information from than yourself. Because when we do talk about this stuff, one thing that I've always given you props for is I look at it obviously as a fan looking in kind of thing, and I've always said this to you, even to your face as well, that you look at it, yes, there's that as well, but where you come from on the financial side, I can't even begin to say I know I speak, as people know, from the heart, and it's pure venom, rage, poison, agenda, whatever you want to say, against a certain person. But yeah, there's all four of them and a lot more. I can go on. I can do my own supercalifragilisticexpialidocious struggle, and this is how it goes. Oh, about that man. But yeah, I have to say honestly, when it comes to that side of it, there is no one that I'd rather listen to than yourself, mate. So
I appreciate that, mate.
Let me know when you do that video.
Yeah, we'll do it this week or something if you want.
Yeah, mate, I'd love to. So now I think at this point, it's time for fireworks to begin. 110 people watching, and I think they've been waiting for fireworks, and especially the mothership is in the house. The mothership. I don't know if it's Ben or Simeon. Do you know what? Every time I say
it's got to be Ben.
Yeah, but I'm going to say it's Ben, but I have a habit of saying it's Simeon, and then it ends up to be Ben. I can normally tell from the language. Alex, do you know what? I'm going to let you answer that question, and only Alex, and then we're going to get into fireworks. Alex, will Tottenham Hotspur get top 4 this season?
If we get 70 points or more. That's it. Simple.
So you know what I mean? No, you have to say yes or no.
Right now, let's put it this way, Alex. Right now, as current form is going, looking at the fixtures, realising, we've got Liverpool, but the Arsenal have to come to us. The filth to me now is between us and Arsenal. Man U, West Ham, forget about it. The race for 4th is between us and the filth. If you look at their form, you look at our form, you look at the fixtures coming up, right here, right now, if you had to say someone's finishing 4th, who are you going with?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I've got no idea.
You got to answer the fucking question.
No, I don't know. No, I don't know.
You're so far on the fence, you got splinters up your ass.
I would say yes by default. Yes, by default, and I have to say by default. But by the way, a big up to them too. But oh my gosh, they think oh my gosh.
Alex, just answer. Will we finish top 4? Yes or no?
By default, at the moment, yes. Okay. By default.
Yes.
By default.
That was your
that's a massive by default, by the way.
That's a massive turnaround from what you were saying a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
I love Sean. You know when Sean business,
you said you asked the question. Before we carry on, I'm sorry. I'm gonna make my point now. I'm sorry. Yeah. You said you wanted me to give me an answer. You said to me, you give me an answer. I said, if we get 70 points or more, you said, oh, I need an answer. Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. So I said, by default, yes. Yeah. So I did caveat saying by default, yes. By the way, that's not having a go at Ben and Sid, by the way, because they're big up to them. But I said, them two are fantastic. Like I said, Ben's got so much energy. Honestly, I love him so much. And Sim's just an absolute brilliant guy. So yeah, absolutely love them to bits. You know what I mean? And you know, I've met these two face to face, absolutely fantastic guys. So I need to say that absolutely, and please subscribe to them as well. Please, honestly, do please. Just to get back on the point, I have to say this. And I'm not bothered about other teams. If Tottenham are bothered about top four, it's not a trophy, by the way. It's not a trophy. You know what I mean? Because Conte wants trophies. He wants Champions League. He wants championships. That's what his name is. That's what his name is. That's what he's elite manager. He wants championships. So everybody did, I just want a Carabao Cup. So this Carabao Cup's going to stop the bantering. No, you're still going to get bantered because all you're going to say is that we're a Carabao Cup team. You know what I mean? Sorry, that's just ridiculous.
Finishing top four gets you on it's a stepping stone towards a trophy.
No, it isn't. Money. No, it isn't.
It is.
No, it isn't. It is. Oh, well, no, it isn't. No, it isn't.
How is it not?
Absolute rubbish. I don't understand what you're talking about. What happened?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You finish fourth.
What happened, Poch?
If you finish fourth, you get 80 million quid more in the transfer kit. You can go out and buy 2 or 3 players that were for 40 million quid each, which you wouldn't otherwise be able to get.
That smile, easy.
Oh, I love this. This is so easy right now. This is gonna be so good right now. I'm really on it right now. Here we go. Here we go.
Mr. Box Office.
In the building now. Here we go.
Right. Mr. Post Office is offering
right. No, it's not Mr. Box Office now. It's here now, bro. You're gonna get me going now. You got me going now, bro. This is me now. Okay.
How do you win a trophy?
Right.
You have to bet.
I'm sorry. It's a myth. Absolute myth. Champions League. Right. Look at Manchester United, bruv. Look at Manchester United. Yeah. They've won. They've got fourth. How many times now, bruv? They've got fourth how many times? What have they done since? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Would you rather us
finish Ronaldo in the building? He's got bantered.
How do you win?
Bantered. Don't give me that rubbish that you just told me right now, bro. The only reason why we're in a decent position is because of Conte.
Okay, Sean. We've got a super chat that you're answering, and only you, and then we're going to get onto the fireworks, which we put off every
I thought this was the fireworks. I thought we
Brian. We'll ease into it. We'll
okay,
ease into it.
So wait a minute, Sean, you're answering this. Do you think, and thank you, Dibadam Dusa, do you think the new FFP rules will be tough on the Serie A teams like Inter? So should we bring in more Serie A rejects?
Well, in a nutshell, I'll just quickly go through the 3 major changes, right? So the current rules are that you're allowed to lose about 5 million quid or 6 million euros a season, unless you have been backed by an investor or backed by your owner, which allows you then to go up to about 20 million if per season. 20 million over per season. So you're allowed to lose 60 million over. Wait, am I talking right there? 20 million a season if you've got investment. Under the new rules, that's been doubled, right? So it allows you to lose more money over a 3-year period and remain sustainable, quote unquote, sustainable. The other thing that's the major change, though, is that which isn't a policy now, is that you are not allowed to spend more than 70%, and it's capped at 70. Next year when it starts, it's going to be 90%. The year after, it's going to be 80%, and then it's 70% from year 3 and remains 70% from then on. 70% of your revenue at most can be spent on salaries, transfer fees on a yearly basis, and agents fees from January 1st to December the 31st. Who that really fucks up the most are teams that pay big agents fees, because your salary is not going to change too much. Tottenham, I think at the moment, they pay about 45% of their revenue towards salaries. And so you've got 15% wiggle room on revenue. Obviously, it depends on how much you get in terms of sponsorships, in terms of merchandise sales, in terms of campaigns, prize money, and TV and media spend, which is why it's so important for us to get to the Champions League. But Italian teams are more likely to have those agent fees issues. And I'll tell you something, Manchester United paid something like 45 million quid last season on agents fees. They could be in trouble if they continue to do that. Everton are massively in trouble already, and I think that they're going to get even more of a predicament because of the 70% thing. If Everton go down, their revenue is going to collapse by 50%, and then that will already put them in breach of their 70%, or actually it's 90% in the first year. So to answer your question specifically, the bottom detail, I will do a more detailed video on it because there's lots of ins and outs. But in a nutshell, I mean, every team who spends extortionate amounts of money on any given year on agents fees is probably where you're going to see the threshold change. And Italian teams are quite culpable with that kind of stuff. So I don't know if we can go and get any more rejects. I'm not sure if that's tongue in cheek, but yeah, look, it all comes down to whether or not you can get everything you want to get done without going over your 70% threshold. Tottenham are in no problems at all with that. Tottenham are going to be absolutely fine. And if we finish top 4, we haven't got to worry about FFP.
I need to say this, Sean. You were absolutely spot on, to be honest with you, about Everton. Honestly, that's a scary situation. That is a very, very scary situation. This is where I have to, whether people like it or not, we have to give credit to the Levy. Yeah, we have to give credit to Daniel Levy. You know what I mean? Because the fact is, we're not in the red. We're not in the red. And at the end of the day, we still want our football club at the end of the day to be alive, because it could be worse. It could be much, much worse. I'm not going to get into the whole legalities of the whole thing, because I think there are arguments that he's done badly. You know what I mean? And we can go on to that another time. But
I think we're going on to that in about 5 minutes, aren't we, Brian?
Yeah, I know, and I respect Brian. I respect Brian as well, because he's done a lot for this club as well. So and Danny as well, and the others as well, Stelios, and there's loads of people to mention.
Graham, who's in the chat.
Graham as well. Graham,
yeah.
Big up to you, by the way, Graham, as well. You need to come on the stream, Graham. You do need to come on the stream, though. You really do, because you've got great opinions. You know what I mean? And you're a great guy.
Great, yeah.
So
definitely.
yeah, and So I do agree with what Sean's saying. At the end of the day, yes, I do. I think it's.
It makes you wonder whether or not you almost want Everton, because if Everton go down, they will immediately have to liquidate Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin. I mean, Damari Gray is the best value transfer I've ever seen. I
want him at Tottenham, mate.
£1.5 million quid for that guy.
The Damari Gray is untapped talent as far as I'm concerned. Honestly,
Anthony Gordon,
so good.
I don't know if Anthony Gordon would leave Everton if they went down, because he's a local lad and he's on a long-term youth contract. So I don't know if he'd go down, but my heart says I don't want Everton to go down, because they're a mainstay in the Premier League, and I like them as a football club generally. But if Everton do go down, there's a fire sale at Goodison Park, and Tottenham could be a benefactor of that.
Yeah, I don't think Everton are going to go down. I didn't think they were.
I pray to God they don't, because we all know about stupid stats, and now they come back to haunt us. And I heard this stat and I was like, this is just so typical. If Everton go down, Tottenham Hotspur will be the only ever present in the Premier League not to have won it. All right, don't put that one on us. Don't put that one on us.
That is true. You're right.
And for that alone, forget who's managing them. I don't want them to go. And I just want to say, the 107 people watching, which, guys, we are so appreciative. Someone did something. I thought, Sean, I think it was you. It was you. And I'm going to take a leaf out of your book, Sean.
Yeah.
You came up and said, halfway through the stream, you're going to start promoting channels, because obviously when you do the goodbyes at the end,
the numbers drop. Yeah, 100%.
The numbers drop. And obviously we haven't reached the part where the numbers are going to spike. So both of you, very, very quickly, Alex first, talk about your channel, then Sean.
Alex THFC. It's just really just me talking about Tottenham. I do give a little bit more context to everything I say on streams now. And yeah, I did a little bit of a stream, a little bit of a video yesterday. I've got a few things in the pipeline. But yeah, I mean, if you want to come and watch it, that's great. I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't, I don't want to push it all out there. I'll just say, this is if you want to see what the context of everything I say, that it's there on the channel at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And it's all fun and games at the end of the day. So yeah, that's it.
I'm just about to share your link in the chat so people can go straight to it. And Sean, whilst I'm doing that,
yeah, you can find me at Spurs Talk Show, all one word, hashtag no spaces. If you do search for Spurs Talk Show and you put spaces between the word Spurs and talk and show, then you won't find me. You might find the San Antonio Spurs. There's a channel over there that hasn't posted a video in like 4 years, but every time I check, their subscribers go up. So I'm presuming, I hope that it's people that are trying to find me and they're going to subscribe to that idiot. But anyway.
Danny, can you put the channel? Can you put the links up? So I'm trying to do it on my phone, and I'm not signed. This is Tottenham On Tour.
Yeah, on my channel you can find. So I do Tottenham walks in the morning. I take my dog out for a walk and walk around the countryside, talking about Tottenham, get things off my chest, which seems to be quite well received. And then I just do panel shows we try and keep it lighthearted and like funny, or banterous, and play games and stuff on there. And I have everyone from around the community on as often as I can. And also whenever the timing's right, whenever there's like financial news and those sorts of things, or like the FFP stuff, because of my background in investment banking, I like to try and like shed a little light on what that stuff means and go into a bit more detail, that if anyone's interested in that stuff, then they can learn a bit more and find out about it.
And if you just get Alex's up as well.
Can I say something? Can I say something as well to everybody? Sean's, it's an absolutely fantastic show. Absolutely fantastic show. When I was on his show, and I think it was the last time, I said it was on fire. On fire. Honestly, the things that he put in and stuff as well. And I'm not just saying this. It was very, very good. So yeah, please subscribe to him. Definitely, please all do subscribe to him, please, because he's doing, to these guys as well, please. I mean, I know that Danny's deluded, but still, coming from you. I will say this. He's the most genuine guy I've ever met, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So, and I have to say that. So yeah, and Brian as well. You know how I feel about you, Brian. Listen, anyway, you know what I mean? So
what I have to say on this, just very quickly, Danny, is listen. First of all, we're only halfway through the show. We only put the links through halfway, so people don't think we're leaving because we're not going anywhere yet. Believe me, the fun hasn't started. But what I have to say, and I'll get my We Are Tottenham TV love out of the way straight away. They are the mothership that has formed all of this. Everyone here started by going on We Are Tottenham TV.
Yeah.
Those boys, and people know my affiliation and my love for Ben and Simeon and the boys in the back end. I love Ben and Simeon more than life itself. And not only are they the biggest Spurs channel that give the fans their voice, no matter what you want to say.
Yeah. Whether
it be me that came on and was pure Levy out, whether it be someone like Sean who wanted to come in and speak the numbers, whether it be someone like Carl Patrick Vineyard, whether it be Danny, whether it be Bob Spur. I wouldn't have known the four people on this screen and Bob Spur and all the others if it weren't for those boys. So those boys, I would literally jump in a burning building for them. But what people got to remember is they see all of us on screen. And they see Alex, Mr. Box Office, and a lot of people disagree with him. And Sean, when he first came on with being called Levy's love child and all that. What you see is you see us on screen, and you see us debate, and you see us shout, and you see us laugh. But what people don't see, and people that have become part of the family, and Bobby K is the perfect example because he's just come into it, is the love and support that we all give each other. Yeah. It's not one of those, okay, you've got a Spurs channel, so I don't want to be associated with you. I'm going to try and get bigger numbers. I'm going to go on times that you're on. It is nothing like that. We are all always here to support each other. Yeah. We all absolutely worship each other. We all get together at, like me and Sean have had our debates. We have had our heated debates. And when I first saw Alex on We Are Tottenham TV, I was like, oh my God, what is this guy talking about? But I'll tell you what, they are
and still am, to be honest.
They are two of the nicest guys you could ever see. First time, I mean, when I was back the very, very first time in England, every time we went to a Spurs match, me, Danny, and Alex went out for dinner, and sometimes more people. First time I met Sean was the Wolves game. Out
Went
for a curry and a wicked night. And me and Sean speak a lot.
You introduced me to your little starter, that panini wrap thing, the Indian
the King Prawn Curry. King Prawn Curry, hashtag King Prawn Curry is the way forward in Indian restaurants.
I put on a stone since that day because I've been eating King Prawn Curry for breakfast, lunch, and dinner ever since.
Mate, so I mean, even someone like Chris Hackenbar, who's a great community. Chris Hackenbar, who I met at the NFL protest. Beforehand, he was just a name that I saw regularly on the channels. Now I know exactly who he is. Talk to him. Holly's one. But the support we have in this family, Mari in the Love Lounge, Paddy, who I've got to admit has been playing jokes on me and photoshopping Levy pictures on my wall and everything. But Paddy is such a top boy, and I love Paddy to pieces. It's an incredible. David Besco, another one, who is a part of a brilliant WhatsApp, a brilliant Tottenham Facebook group, Oda Afasa. It's the Rez. Sorry, I forgot my lawyer. And shelf size. But mate, I could do this for ages. Ben, I'm going to stop here because I'm going to just literally, this show will be 8 hours long. But yeah, it's all part of this Spurs community. Now, I'm just trying to work out with these controversial points. Do I save my Levy one till the end, or do I get it out the way first?
Go for it. After saying those lovely things about me, let's fucking argue, Brian.
Before we do that, I do also want to ditto that, right? I think Sean is one of the most amazing guys I've actually met. He's a brilliant, lovely guy, and Alex as well. I mean, Alex is such a gentleman. He's such a kind soul, but he's the most deluded fucker I've ever met in my life. He is the most deluded fucker I've ever met. I've never met someone more. He is Tottenham's tie, and I'm going to say that right here, right now, Alex. He is Tottenham's tie.
Naughty.
Very naughty.
That's amazing.
Good.
Right.
Right. So, Dagul, do you want to? I'll let you take the reins for the minute.
So I will take the reins for this. And like I said, it's going to be a Levy rant, but not as you know it. Because I want to talk about something that I've come up with a concept. I've come up with a brand new illness. And it's called Levy amnesia. And it's also, I think, this isn't just a vape. This is the Men in Black thing where I can make people fucking forget their memories. Because I was waiting for this to come out after the 4-0 win. Wait a minute, sure, you got to go like that. So I've been waiting for this, and David Besco knows where I'm going with this big time, is I am sick and tired of this. When we go on a little run, or we have a win like we did yesterday, and people come and say, where is the Levy out brigade? Where is the Levy out mob now? And I'm sick and tired of having to go through Twitter and go, I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. And I've been waiting. Today, I've been in an argument on a Facebook group. And this Facebook group is called Yid Army for Life. And 21 hours ago, they came up with this. Daniel Levy deserves massive credit for getting Conte. He's taken huge financial hits on outgoing players in January and backing Conte with the 2 new signings. Many of us have been very vocal of our criticism of him, but we've got to give credit where credit's due. Well done, Mr. Levy. So I obviously saw this, and I didn't see this. I had quite a few people, as you do, when you've got a reputation like me, tag me in this post. So I responded. And I responded with this. Is this supposed to be a joke? So we have had 4 wins back to back and signed 2 players in January, and now all of a sudden we have to give him a break. Never in a billion years does he get a break. Just to refresh your memory, does 4 wins and 2 signings make up for 21 years, 1 trophy? Answer, no. Does 4 wins and 2 signings make up for winning? No, I've said that one twice. Does 4 wins and 2 signings make up for the fact that we've just gone through our first decade, 2010 to 2020, without winning a trophy? Answer, no. Does 4 wins and 2 signings make up for the highest season ticket prices in all of Europe? Answer, no. Does 4 wins and 2 signings make up for the highest kits in Europe? Answer, no. Do 4 wins and 2 signings allow the owners to lie to you? Answer, no. Do these 4 victories and 2 signings make up for the manager debacle after Mourinho was sacked? Answer, no. Does these 4 wins and 2 signings make up for those naming rights that we still haven't got? Answer, no. Does these 4 wins and 2 signings means we forgive him for not signing anyone for 18 months? Answer, no. Does these 4 wins and 2 signings make up for selling our best players and never replacing them with quality? Answer, no. And then I said, it's now 5 a.m. in Toronto, which is when it was. I've got woken up to this, and I still haven't woken up. So forgive me for only coming up with a few examples. Once I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and had some caffeine, I will get back to this. Daniel Levy is a wanker, and I will never, ever stop until Levy and Enoch are out. Levy out every single day is Levy out day. Today is to Levy out. Like I said, this is a Levy rant, but it is not at Levy today. It's against these goddamn people that think 4 wins and 2 signings make up for 21 years of bullshit. And then through this one, I've waited all day for it. The final nail in the coffin, someone said, we have got the greatest stadium and training ground, that old chestnut. And I was like, I support Tottenham FC, not Monopoly FC. I don't give a fuck about the property portfolio. I don't give a fuck about the entertainment complex. I support the team. We have gone from a football team, a world famous football team, to a entertainment centre with a property portfolio that invests in companies that have a football team on the side. People that are leaving in, please stop thinking 4 wins and 2 signings, all is forgiven.
That's not what they're saying, though, is it? That's not what that Facebook post was saying. That Facebook post wasn't saying all is forgiven. Since this run has happened, every time we win a game, where's the Levy outers? Where's the Levy outers? But hold up. Every time we lost a game, all the Levy outers came back. That's it. Toys out the fucking pram. This team is fucking shit. Levy's a cunt. Fuck everything. Both sides are guilty at the same time.
It's the same people that say that Prachi's are done. Those are the same people. Like I said before, let's wait and see if this carries on. The philosophy carries on at the end of the day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, who does Levy admire? That's the thing. Because when you say he admires somebody, you get really worried, don't you? Because he admired Mourinho. Look what happened there. You know what I mean? He admires Prachi.
What's Myers? What does Myers mean? What's Myers?
Admire. ADMI.
Admire. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Admire. Admire. Sorry if I got that wrong. Yeah, I don't want to be misquoted.
No, sorry, I wasn't sure what the word. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, it's not you. It's not you, Sean. But this is the point I'm making. You know what I mean? It's just like, for me, Prachi is the wrong guy at the moment. I understand he's got some things right, but I don't think he's got a clue. You know what I mean? Like, if you want somebody who's got a philosophy, understand the philosophy, you go and get Rangnick. You know what I mean? Simple.
That worked out well for United.
Well, no, as a back office sort of person, you know what I mean? But like at the moment, it's working out because Conte's in the building. That's the only reason. But that's
all that post was saying. All that post from what just to play devil's advocate, all that post was saying was, let's give credit where it's due. Conte has come in and done a great job. Let's give credit to Levy for doing that. He's not saying, unless I'm mistaken, but from what you read out, the post didn't say all is forgiven. Daniel Levy is a hero amongst men. And they even said lots of people on this group have criticised Levy in the past, rightly so. So they're not people that are Levy in. They're people that were Levy out, or people that are on the fence and that can go either side according to whichever way the wind is going. But it sounds like that post is just saying on this particular point, we give Levy a hard time on X, Y, and Z. On this particular one, he made a good appointment.
Yeah, sure. Well, I have to bring in on the caveat, and Holly, don't worry, I'll try and get this clipped, and we might even make it a single thing of just me ranting. It's been a long time, and I had a lot of stuff to get off my chest.
It's been 3 months. You haven't had a rant since February the 1st,
not even 3 months. I've had stuff going on today. I have needed to go, and I had my chance. Listen, I brought that post up because I commented on it, because I was tagged on it, and because I'm like, but since this run has gone on, and you know what? You're Sean, you've got a point that when we lose, obviously, it's the
knives come out. The knives come out.
Mate, the knives come out, mate. I sharpen my knives every day. As I say, every single day is Levy out day. Every single day. But the thing is,
on Tottenham lost days, Levy out.
I will say this today, tomorrow, the day after, the week after, the month after, the year after, the decade after. These Levy inners come out every time we win a game, and it's like, because we've won a game, where are the Levy outers? That's the bit, but that's the bit what I'm getting at. Listen, if you leave me in, that's your opinion. Fair play to you. I personally think you're very wrong, but that is your opinion, and I do respect it. What I don't respect is after every win, where are the Levy outers? I'm sorry, did Levy run training? Did Levy pick the tactics? Did Levy...
Well, hold up. Because that is running with the foxes and hunting with the hounds. When things were bad, Brian, back in January, when things were bad, everything was Daniel Levy's fault. And I was always saying to you then, I'm not a Levy inner. I'm just someone I'm just, take the devil's advocate. But when things were bad, everything was Daniel Levy's fault. And I was always like, did Daniel Levy choose to buy Ndombele? Did Daniel Levy go out to Lyon to scout him? No, of course he didn't. He hired people that did the job, and maybe he hired them badly. And then everyone who was in the Levy out brigade at the time was saying, well, that's his responsibility. He's the top man. It all goes up to the top. And I said, okay, that's a fair argument. But if you're going to do that argument, if you're going to make the argument that the buck stops at the top, then when things are good, and for all things that have been good in the past, if you're going to criticize him for all that's bad, even if it's football related and he had nothing to do with it apart from signing checks, then you also have to credit everything that was good. And so when you're now saying, did Levy take the training? Did Levy pick the team? If that's the argument now, then you also have to say it's not Levy's fault. We signed some dross. It's not Levy's fault. You know, it's one or the other, bro. It's one or the other.
We've discussed this as well. And when you said, and I remember this, you brought this comment up. You said in one of the restaurants, if some of the bread goes stale, is that Levy's fault? And I said to you, no, because there are managers of the food department that run that. When it comes to spending £60 million or whatever man you want to say Ndombele was in English money, whatever you want to translate it, before that man signs a check for £60 million, you're like, right, have I got the right stuff? What I'm saying to you is, in the ENIC side of it, if someone said I've lost £250 million of your money, that person is gone. Bye-bye. See you later. Ta-da. Goodbye. Immediately gone. But last season, the transfer notes, or not transfer notes, the end of season address that he did in the programme, we have spent £250 million unwisely. Yet every single member of the team that spent that money are still there. That's the part.
Well, Hitchin's not there anymore.
No, it didn't happen then, did it? That happened. You know what? When Paratici came in, and I use this one all the time, when Paratici came in and he was working alongside Hitchin, people are showing my age now. Do you remember back in the day when Liverpool had Roy Evans and they appointed Gerard Houllier to go and co-manage?
Yeah.
You all knew that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
And one of them would be gone within, and you knew it was going to be first in luck, and you knew it was going to happen. As soon as
too many chefs spoil the broth, I get it.
Exactly. You knew it was going to happen, and only in one way. So he's gone, and that was just a pure, whatever way that's broken down, that was going to happen. So
I think he gets a little bit too much flack as well, by the way, Steve Hitchin. I will stick by that. 100%.
does as well.
Yeah.
Pogba
Do you
does
know
as
what?
well.
I agree with that as well because Steve Hitchen. Look, we know that he'd made mistakes, right? But you have to remember some of the players that he actually went for. They actually would have been good signings if Levy finalized the deal, right? Because you have to look at Bruno Fernandes is the biggest example, and Milan Skriniar. He could have got those deals if the funds were made available for him to get those deals
I think
done.
people need to quickly stop using Bruno Fernandes as the example, mate. Jack Grealish. People used to use Jack Grealish as the example. He's going to become the next Dele Alli at Manchester
This is a
City.
great
He's
point.
Dele Alli.
This is a great
Bruno
point.
Fernandes.
Sean, I'm sorry.
Sean,
No, Sean, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. All I need to say is, okay, the last 20 years we've done nothing. Look at Leicester City, bro. Look at Leicester City. They bantered us last season getting the FA Cup.
Yeah.
They bantered us getting the FA Cup, bro.
Yeah.
And that killed me last season.
What's your point?
That killed me.
They got
That
better,
literally killed me.
They got better
I had
scouting.
to watch them banter us getting the bloody Premier League as well.
Okay,
You know
well,
what
someone
I mean?
has to win it. Someone has to win it.
No, but they
86%. 86% of all trophies in the last.
They bantered us last season getting the FA Cup.
Hey, Alex, 86% of all trophies won under Daniel Levy's tenure at Tottenham have been won by 5 clubs. 5 clubs.
Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. Please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why you keep bringing up Leicester. You bring up Leicester like, what does Leicester mean? What do you mean by Leicester? Is it that they've got a good scouting network? Is that what you're saying?
You've just got tunnel vision of Tottenham in your head at the moment. All I need to say is at the end of the day, why are Leicester City bantering us when they've not even been in the Premier League that long than us, bro?
Where are they going to finish this year? They're going to finish 13th.
But last season they won the FA Cup, bro. They could have got top 4 last season, bro.
Yeah,
they
didn't though, did they? They didn't get top 4, did they? They didn't get top 4.
The truth hurts.
What truth? What is your point? What is your point?
If West Ham, now I'm going to get to my controversial thing. Sorry, Brian, to step.
No, wait, Alex, stop.
What Mr. Box Office needs to start getting going, bro.
What is your point about Leicester City?
Leicester City.
What's the point?
Leicester City, right? Last season bantered us. Last season, Bob. Yeah. Right.
Stop saying that. What does your point mean?
My point being, okay, mate, if you got following you, what I'm saying is that team got the FA Cup. Yeah, we can't even get a Carabao Cup, not even a European Conference League Cup, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah? And they've got the 2 best cups in the
what is your point though?
Football, then?
Is it? What are you saying? It's because of their scouting network. Is that what you're saying?
Scouting network, the way they run their club and everything else.
Well, Tottenham are now rebuilding.
Years.
The last 5
years.
Dagel's point was that all of the people that are responsible for Tottenham's failures in signings and the 250 million quid that was spent, if it happened under ENIC, if it was a property development deal that went sour, all of those guys would have been fired. And I agree. In life, there's no asterisks, there's only scoreboards. If you fuck up enough, you get fired. Tottenham are going through that rebuild right now. Steve Hitchen has been relieved of his duties, and so has 2 of the scouts. So have 2 of the coaches. Paratici has been tasked with this rebuild of all things related to bringing in a better system of development of players and scouting networks. So I don't know what else you can say apart from Daniel Levy. Maybe it took too long, right? But we are going through the process now of trying to rectify that damage. And for every Leicester that you can show me, and you can only really show me one club that does a Leicester, I agree with you. Leicester have got a phenomenal scouting network. It's awesome. The only other clubs that are akin to that are clubs in Europe, some of them in Germany, some like Leipzig or an Ajax. But for every one of those, there's another example of a club that went out and spent money that Daniel Levy didn't on worse teams. And look what the fuck happened to them. Look at Everton. £600 million, bruv. £600 million spent. And they've gone backwards, bro. Yeah, they're getting they might get relegated.
I'm not debating.
Spending money is not the end to all cures.
I'm not debating you on Everton. I'm debating you on Leicester. At the end of the day, and the thing is, though,
I agree with you about Leicester. I agree with you
because they've bantered us. They have literally bantered us, yeah. And the thing is, though, it's not. The banter is even more coming along because West Ham are still in that Europa League football. By the way, people keep on saying, "Look, they win it." I'm worried.
You don't think we're moving forward? We've gone from 11th to 4th in 2 months.
If they win Europa League, they've had a better season than Tottenham. Even get Champions League.
Of course.
Sam Shipek has just hit the fucking nail on the goddamn head.
86% of clubs under Levy that won trophies are five clubs in the last 10 years. I'm not sure what that sentence means. Then let's talk about how many times that percentage could have gone up if we won the cup finals.
If we'd had if we'd had the investment and had the players that could have got us over the line.
We got to the semi-final and the final. If you're good enough to get to the final with the team, then you should be good enough to get over the line on the day. Right? At the end of the day, it's 90 minutes of football. There's more to it than not have. If we're good enough to get to the final, you should be good enough to go one stage further.
Yeah, but that's the thing, Sean. We've notoriously failed. And one thing I will say about our club, and it can't be denied, with certain other teams, and we can talk the big teams. If they get to finals and they don't get the job done, they're like, right, okay, like a manager, you've taken us as far as you can go. We need to look to go to that next level.
Yeah,
we could have shipped people out, but instead, what we did is give them new contracts, and they stay and they stay and they fester, and we keep repeating.
Give me an example of a new contract that's been a shit show in the last 5 years.
Harry Winks.
Okay, that's one. Yep.
Okay, up until. People will debate this. I've stood by him.
Give me an example. That's a fucking good example.
Everyone can fucking agree on Harry Winks.
Your battleship. Listen, the way you look at it,
there's not too many though. There's not too many contracts given out.
You look at it at times, Eric Dyer. I'm a fan of his, but I'm saying the controversy around him. Ben Davies, another one who's done well this season, but under the times we were getting into semi-finals and finals with Poch. We've let people like Carl Walker go, and we spent more money than we sold Carl Walker for.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So it's things like that.
Is that Levy's fault or is that Hitchens' fault?
We sacked our scouting network. We sacked up all our scouting network.
Yeah,
and we had to start all over again.
We are starting again. We're doing it now.
We have to start all over again. So practices had to start all over again with the scouting network.
Well, that's probably a good thing, right? These things take time, but the scouting network over the past 10 years, with the exception of, I don't know, Heung-Min's son, with the exception of him and a couple of others before Paratici, if you have to go all the way back to Frank Arneson to find where we were signing players that just turned out to be got like everyone since Arneson, you know, Kamoli, Paul Mitchell was decent. Yeah, I'll give you that one. But Kamoli was useless.
Oh.
You know, Steve Hitchens was useless. There's a bunch of them. Maybe even David Pleat you could go back to and say he was pretty good at what he did. But you can throw as much mud as you want at Daniel Levy, but for me, I'd rather allocate that blame to people that are responsible for doing the. Daniel Levy isn't going to Spain to check out and see whether Lo Celso is really the guy, or whether Ndombele is really the guy, or whether Sanchez is really the guy. He's not responsible for that. He's got to trust people that he employs. He's now got rid of those people, or he's in the process of rebuilding all that stuff. I think he realizes now that there is an ecosystem of people at the top in high positions that are responsible for all things football that for a long time have had their nose in the trough, getting paid a lot of fucking money and doing very poor things. But you can't just fire everybody unless you've got a plan and someone that you trust. So you need to hire someone like Paratici, if Paratici's the guy, and then he comes in and goes, okay, I can fire him now because I've got someone else I want to do his job. Daniel Levy doesn't know. He's asked for his elbow when it comes to who's the best scout in the business, who's the best development coach. You know, like you look at how many what's going on with our youth setup, and then we go and like we give Ryan Mason a promotion to first team coach when what the fuck did what's he done? He's managed to get Oliver Skip. That's it. Japhet Tanganga. How many youth team players have done nothing for Tottenham?
That's what happens when you hire a manager that wins silverware notoriously without having a backup ready. Whether you agree with whether Mourinho should have been sacked or not, I personally don't think he should have before a final. Maybe at the end of the season. At the end of the season. But to sack him with no idea, or you had an idea and go, do you know what I'm going to do? This guy who played for us never managed a professional team in his life. He's working with the youth.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's good enough to have his second game ever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, madness.
That's just poor. Do you know what? I need to hear from someone, and I can't believe we've been speaking about the man I hate most himself. When right next to me, he's over there. Yeah, there. I always get that wrong. Danny's been sitting here quietly, and I've seen him. Maybe he's been writing notes down or stuff. But let Danny, off you go, brother.
Oh well. Do you know what? It's just, I don't even know where to begin with this whole situation, because it's, do you know, I don't know. Do you know what? I actually don't even know where to begin. It's just there's so much to undergo, and we'll be sitting here till like gone 3 o'clock in the morning if we keep going the way we're going. So, do you know? I want to hear what Alex thinks about it first before I go.
What, Daniel Levy?
Yeah.
The thing is, I tend to agree with Sean in terms of, you know, we can't get rid of him. We can't get rid of him. Yeah. That's the thing. But where I do disagree with him, I think he treated Poch horribly, as far as I'm concerned. I think he missed a trick with that. He should have kept Poch on. I mean, I was proved right anyway, because I said that was a mistake, and we're going to try and get a manager back like Poch. And we did in the summer, you know what I mean? But that's old news. We have to move on. Holly's right, because he's put a comment in saying we need to move on. You need to move on. So that's it. So I'll give him on that. Martin Yeo, I understand the whole thing, Martin Yeo. I was gutted for him, you know what I mean? And we got Ramos in, we sacked him, you know what I mean, after a Carabao Cup, ironically, as well. But the thing is, I don't really like at the moment with him is that he just doesn't keep to philosophy. He just hasn't learned from his mistakes. And to be honest with you, that's the only thing I can say at the moment. The only reason why I don't go on about it too much and try and keep my counsel on it is because I know it's very hard to get rid of somebody like that. You know what I mean? Because you need to find somebody who's going to replace him, and he might be even worse than Daniel Levy. Because there are worse people out there. There are worse people out there. You know what I mean? Much worse. You know what I mean? So, you know, who are not very good. And I know that they put the processes in place. This is where I need to be very careful what I say, because I don't really understand the whole thing at the end of the day. But I know they permanently put processes in place to find good, to make sure that owners are good and proper. But, you know, you still don't know. You know what I mean? You still don't know. So because I'm a cautious guy, naturally, I would say that I would be more on the fence of keeping him at the moment. But out of respect to Brian and Danny, by the way, because I respect you two highly, you know what I mean? So out of respect to Brian and Danny, by the way. But yeah, but that's the only reason why I don't go on about it, because one, I've got a life to live, and two, I've got a life to live. And I do enough for the club, giving my money away, going to games at the end of the day. And, you know, at the end of the day, there's only so much I can do, you know what I mean? And, you know, that's it for me at the end of the day. I think Rez made a good point about, like I said, I think he's mentioned about the scouting network. That's where the issue, the infrastructure and stuff like that. But for the football, I blame Daniel Levy for, because he's made mistakes in that 20-year period, and he still hasn't
changed it fast enough. And I agree with that.
He hasn't done it. You know what I mean? And that's unforgivable at the end of the day. I think he got lucky with Poch. He got very lucky with Poch. To be fair, he's got lucky with Conte. I'm not going to give Pattergy any credit.
He's paid enough for him. He's paid enough money for the fucking guy. I don't think it's lucky. I think you pay enough money, they will come.
Well, he's lucky, because Manchester United come in knocking at the door. He's there straight away. You know what I mean? So he's lucky, very, very lucky that Conte has come. And like I said, he's caused a lot of miracles. So for me, this summer, you know, you better be doing what Conte wants at the end of the day. If you're banking on him and banking on Kane, I don't like this whole thing about Kane. And this is, again, I need to overstress this at the end of the day.
I can't wait.
Kane's not the issue here. Kane's not the issue. Kane's not the issue. No, it's not a controversial point. Well, it is a controversial point in the sense that people love to bang on about Kane. But the thing is, though, when you bang on about Kane, why do we not get a striker in? Because you bang on about Kane. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, if your focus is always on Kane, and again, I'm not having to go at Kane because he's absolutely fantastic. He's a world-class player. The guy is
go on, Alex, say again.
At the moment. He's a fan. Well, we've seen it. We've seen it at the stadium. You know what I mean? Yeah. The guy is at his element. He's slimmed down. I mean, he's slimmed down now. He's got a new haircut. He looks like he's just on another world. You know what I mean? Absolutely another world. You know what I mean? So to be fair to him, he's absolutely fantastic. You know, we are very, very lucky to have him. Right. So I have to stress this, but I like everybody contributing. You know what I mean? I don't like just relying on one player. And for me, Son struggles come doing what Kane does. I still need to see a little bit more from Kulaszewski, but I think he needs time. Yeah, but at the moment, those moves that are happening at the moment in the stadium, in the formation that we have in, is all because of Kane. You know what I mean? The confidence in the team is because of Kane attacking wise. You know what I mean? So, and he said it as well, Conte as well. So
It's not all because
for
of
me,
Kane.
you know, I
no chance. It's not all because of Kane. Kane was in the team when we were 11th. Kane was in the team when we lost to Wolves and Southampton. Kane was in the team when we lost to Middlesbrough. We lost to Burnley. It's not because all the wins are coming in. There's other players. You know what? I'm going to save my point on this because this is part of my controversial statement that I'm going to use. So,
okay. So I before that, I just want to address one thing here from a great supporter of the channel. This is the comment that drives me wild, and not because it's Paul. When people say we could get Mike Ashley. Now, the one thing I say about Mike Ashley, I say it all the time. The one thing I say all the time is, do you know what? Do you know what Mike Ashley didn't do to Newcastle United fans? Lie to them.
Yes, he did.
He said, "I'm not spending. I'm not giving you my money." With this, he told the truth. The whole.
He said at the very start of his tenure, "I will never sell this club until I've won a trophy."
That's at the beginning. I'm talking at the end when shit hit the fan. He told the goddamn truth. And for everyone that says we could be the next Leicester, we could be Leicester, could be the next Leeds, we could be the next Everton, we could be the next Liverpool with their owners that give 150 million for Conte. And you've got to remember as well, this is the thing that drives me mad as well with this whole thing. And I'm going to put my closing statement on this. I'll let Danny have his final say, then Danny will pick the next controversial point we do. But people are going now after these 4 wins, and believe me, I know who these people are because I have a little database. I have a little Google doc to know who to go to. If these 4 wins and 2 signings, what happens? Should it? I don't think it will. We don't get top 4. Let's just say we go on a little run now, the opposite direction, and we end 5th or 6th. What happens then? What happens?
What happens? The Levy brigade come out with their knives.
Oh, mate, you got to remember, our knives don't go. Listen, that's what I'm trying to get out. With the Levy outers, and I stand proudly as one of them. I stand proudly with every single one of them, no matter where they are in the world. I don't care if I'm outside the training ground by myself. I don't care if I'm outside Lily White House by myself. I don't care if I'm outside Nike's headquarters here in Toronto, if they have one or whatever. You know what I mean? I will stand there because I stick to what I'm saying. Like Alex sticks to his views, like you stick to your views, people know when it comes to this, I am constant. I don't pop up every time we've had a win or every time we've had a defeat. You get me on any stream and you ask me this question, it don't change. But what I want to know is, where are all these Levy inners going to be? Should, which I don't think it will, it goes Pete Tong.
Who's the Levy inner? Because I think you probably put me in the lead. Maybe you.
I don't put mate. You and me have spoken off camera.
No, I know. But like people in the comments would probably presume that I'm a Levy inner because I'm not a Levy outer, so to speak. Right? I'm just someone that I'll just wait and see what happens. And I've said it 1,000 times. For me, this summer is, like the peak of the wave for Daniel Levy's patience, or whatever you want to call it. In my mind, if he doesn't back Conte, within reason, we'll have to look at the context and what happens as the story unfolds. But if it all goes tits up, because Daniel Levy nickels and dimes over whatever, doesn't want to pay an extra couple of million for a player that Conte definitely wants and is available. If any of that shit happens this summer, when we've got this opportunity, whether we finish 4th, 5th, or 6th, we're still going to have money to spend. Europa League is pretty lucrative as well. Then I will join you in the condemnation of a man who once again has failed to put, when it's put up or shut up, he fucks up, and I'll join you on that. I'm not someone who's gonna, mix any, I won't mix my words on that 100%.
Sure, I'll say before Danny comes in, listen, when we first met, I thought you were the love child of Daniel Levy. I thought there was some way, if I got your family tree, there'd be some connection somehow to you. Honestly, no, that was honestly I did. And they say don't judge a book by its cover, and I was wrong. Because it's not you're not Levy in, but you're not Levy out, which is fair play. And like I said, this is where when we spoke about finances, you look at it from that aspect where I never do. I look at it solely from on the football pitch and what I do as a football fan. And I understand you have an interest in the finances and you look into that, and everyone can do that. I just talk about it.
I get it.
And that's to my detriment sometimes, because I take that aspect out of it. But listen,
Brian, I need to say this though. To Sean's defence, I think he just states the facts. I think at the end of the day, I think I think he, in his defence, I don't think he's a Levy inner. I think he just looks at the facts and looks at the things that he sees and just makes a judgment from that. And I think that's it, really. I don't think he's pure. Because the thing is, I think these people that I don't want to call them Levy inners. I just think they just want to try and get a rise out of some people. You know what I mean? I think Sean comes from a way where he comes from. He looks at information and comes to his own conclusion, and that's it. I think, and I think is that the right way of saying it, Sean? I think that's the way. Yeah. I think that's the thing. And I don't think he. I think he's similar to me. It's just that he's got more context a little bit more especially with the finance side of things, because I will never really understand it. The only certain things I understand from his point of view is the Everton situation. I do apologize in terms of me having a go at him, because he's not. I'm just passionate in that sense.
Oh, I love it. I love a passionate debate. Both of you guys are awesome.
Leicester City, definitely. It's just I've got respect for you, Sean. That's the thing. I have to say that. But
I'd love us to have a scouting network like Leicester City, Alex. Yeah. I think it'd be fantastic, and hopefully we can build one. And I take everybody who doesn't want to just like go, oh, it's Daniel Levy. Let's just, because it's, to me, it's like if you just go, everything's Daniel Levy's fault that's bad about Tottenham. That's cool. Like I say, if you want to do that, I'll make that argument. Buck stops at the top. That's fine. I just rather kind of like let's unpack it a little bit and go, well, where we fucked up? And Daniel Levy has fucked up by first of all employing poorly, and secondly maintaining that employment on certain divisions of the footballing side that have failed time and time again to deliver what we need, which is value for money in transfers. And I hope that now, fucking overdue by about 5 years, 5 years just to be safe. Hopefully now we're starting to get rid of the toxicity in the scouting network, in the youth development, in the and in the whatever, anything else to do with that. And Paratici can hopefully mold it in his way. To your point, Alex, what will Paratici do if Conte fucks off? Who knows, right? The mystic Meg hasn't spoken on that yet, so let's wait and see. But I hope that now we're starting to see a new Tottenham emerge with lots of background things changing, that in a couple of years' time we'll be able to develop better youth, find better talent overseas that are like more Kulaszewskis, and also when it's necessary, go out and buy a £50 million player and get value for money from someone who can come in and do a job immediately.
Okay, and I have to say, well, I've just spoken to Guinness Book of Records, and I think we have broken a world record where Danny Kyriacou has been this quiet for this long.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm talking too much, guys.
No,
it's fine.
Danny,
I'm enjoying it.
Your closing statements, and then choice of who is going next on their controversial moment or points.
Well, with the Levy thing, I think everyone knows what I think. Look, I understand everyone's points of view. I understand Sean's points of view because, like Alex said, Sean comes at the angle from a business point of view because he's been in the financial game. He knows about what it's like how these businesses run and how these businesses work and how they do things in the background to make their money and to what they can show and all this kind of stuff. And I get it. It's just I think from my angle as well is more similar to Brian's angle because of, as a football fan, I don't give a fuck about money. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I just want to see trophies. That's all I want to see. I don't care how they do it. I just want to see trophies. And whether that's Daniel Levy or not, I don't care. I just want to see trophies. And just the way I feel, it's like, look, I'm at a point now, right now, with this Daniel Levy bullshit, is that I still want him out because I still don't think that he's not gonna. His sole ambition is not driven by football accomplishments on the pitch. Yeah, success on the pitch. He's accomplished. He's driven by ambition to build, to in a way use a football club to make large amounts of money to invest in other businesses that they have and other business ventures that they have. That's what I believe that they're kind of philosophy is of why they bought this football club in the first place, right? And to me, the 21 years we've seen, I haven't seen them. All right, they built a stadium and stuff, but I still don't believe that stadium was built for footballing purposes. As in, like, to say, right, we're gonna make all this money on a stadium to have this multi-purpose entertainment stadium, so that we can have so we can use all the money that we have to invest into the team. It's not going to happen like that. They're going to invest in their other ventures they've got. They've still got to build the flats and all this kind of stuff that they have to build as part of the government agreement they had with the council, the agreement they had with the council. That they, as part of getting the stadium to develop on that land, they had to build a certain amount of housing that is going to be given back to the council, right?
Correct.
For Tottenham, right? So I understand that. So money has to go into that. It doesn't just come out of thin air. But then what annoys me is the fact that they want to build a hotel. That wasn't part of the plan. Well, it was part of their plan, but that's not. Why do they want to waste more money on a hotel? Why do they want to waste more money on a sports entertainment center that's going to be at where the stadium is? It's going to have a fucking dive tank in it. A fucking dive tank. Really? A fucking dive tank. I mean, do I want to go scuba diving outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
I didn't even know about that.
I mean,
is that genuine?
Yeah, it's genuine. It's gonna have a rock climbing wall on it, inside and out. It's gonna have a dive tank on it. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're gonna have the golf course, which they're building for a women's football academy, and they're gonna build it as an NFL base as well. It's just insane, and it's like, why are they using this money to keep building the infrastructure? Why? And that's my biggest question, right? And where I question them, because if they really want success on the pitch, they wouldn't be, those plans would be in the background for now, because they've got the stadium, they've got the training ground now, right? They've got to build the apartments anyway. Okay, use the money for that, right? Fair enough, that's fine. But why then keep building the infrastructure and around Tottenham and stuff like that? Because I believe there's a hidden motive to what they're doing, because
it's just raise the valuation of the entity, isn't it? Because they don't take dividends,
exactly.
So they don't get any money until they get bought out for 4 billion in 10 years' time or whatever it is. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly, but this is my biggest problem, Sean. Right, and I think you probably to some extent agree with it as well, because
I get
the money that they're making, it should go back into the team so we can actually fucking win a trophy. Because we've seen it time and time again. The board has made constant footballing mistakes because of everyone that sits in that board is a business person, right? A businessman, a business administrator. They don't work. They're not footballing people. We don't have legends of the game sitting in our board who are making the footballing decisions, because they don't give a shit about footballing decisions. So this is, for me now, where my final straw is already there. But what I'm saying is I've given them the benefit of the doubt, because we've now got a world-class manager managing our team. This is the chance they've got now to prove themselves one last time, right?
So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and I think you are. I think everyone is, right? And I think this is the chance where, if they do not back Conte, even Jermaine, I know I fucking don't like what Jermaine Genius normally says about Spurs, right? But even he says this is the time to back a manager, right? He said it the other night. Everyone is saying this is the time to, every pundit, every fucking footballing person is like, this is the time to back a manager. If you're going to back anyone, you back Conte, right? If they do not back Conte by getting in, and they're in the top 4, it is unforgivable. It's unforgivable, because you cannot get into the top. There's no excuses, right? If you've gone and got £80 million for getting that money revenue they're going to be getting, the Premier League money they're going to be getting. For
more than that. It works out more than that, because you get
it's going to be more than that.
Sponsorship agreements that, like all of the deals with the training kit sponsors, all that shit
everything
will have more exposure. All of those deals get bloated out. Yeah.
We get more money from them all. Everything, right? So if they don't go and get what Conte wants, right, exactly what and I'm not saying go and get 9 players or 8 players, because I think that's probably what he does want long term, right? But if they don't get at least 4 good players that he wants to improve this team in the summer, right, and he walks out of this club, I'm done. I'm done. Until that board is gone, I'm not going to be going to games. I don't care. I'll be selling my season tickets, because I'm fed up, because it's never going to change while they're running this club. And that is, for me, the be all and end all, because you cannot have someone like Conte running your club, right, sitting there the manager that he is, and not giving him the tools to go and do what all of us fans want, Harry Kane wants. I mean, we were sitting there on Will's stream the other night, and we were saying that we're never going to get this chance again, right? With Harry Kane, Son Heung-min, and these caliber of players with the manager that we got now, we're never going to get a better chance to win any kind of trophy. And I'm not just talking about an FA Cup or a Carling Cup. I'm talking about an FA Cup and a Premier League, because with these guys right now and the level of players, of football they're playing right now with Conte, and if we get a couple more players in with Kulu and Bentancur and Romero, we could actually challenge for the title next season. And I'm call me deluded, I don't give a fuck, but I actually believe that. I honestly believe that. We're seeing how good we are on the pitch right now. So for me, it's just it'll be yes, unforgivable if they don't back him.
And I'll join you guys. You'll see me. I'll even go up to a protest and join you lot once.
And that's the thing, right? And I know you will. And that's why I respect what you say, because you do look at every angle and you try to give reason to why we are saying some of the things we say, for example, right? Yeah. Or trying to make us understand our opinions more so based on the financial side of how things go in our club, right? So yeah, it's just I just want to see them really try and actually focus on trying to win something, because I just get sick of all these interviews that you see from Paratici and Levy end of the season, where all I hear is the same bollocks every now and again. They get going, our aim is to improve the squad, improve this. It's like there's no hope they're given. And what Conte is trying to do is trying to bring that hope into this club, and that belief that we can go and win something again, like Poch kind of gave us. But the difference with him and Poch is he is a winner. He's won things. And he's bringing that winning mentality, that die for, like, you give everything no matter what, because if you do, you can achieve something. And that's what we need from the board upwards, the board downwards, because the problem is as well, right? With the way Levy is, when have we ever heard Levy or Paratici or anyone say, apart from the manager, right, say, we want to win a trophy, we want to win something, right? We've never heard it ever. The only time there was, and the reason why Poch left the club in the way that he left, and Daniel Levy sacked him, was because Poch was saying we now need to move to the next level to compete with Man City and Liverpool. We need to win a Premier League. We need to win a Champions League. He always kept saying we need to win the big titles. That's the only way we're going to change the culture of this club, is by aiming for the big titles, right? That's what Conte is doing right now. He said it himself recently. He said that, but Conte's basically gone and said, I'm not here to win this. I'm here. I'm not here to for a top 4 or 5. I want to win. Kane has come out in an interview a month ago or a couple of weeks ago saying, I want to win. I want to win. And now now he's basically saying, the club have to sit down with Conte and decide what they want to do, because if the club don't want to match their ambitions, both of those guys are going to walk. And if both those guys walk, right, we are going to go backwards another 4 or 5 years.
Absolute carnage. Yeah.
I want to come back. I want to come back on what you're saying.
Before you do that, I just want to go through. We've had 3 super chats come in. First of all, big up William Kelly, who's saying big up, great show. Thanks, Sean, for having me on your show the other night. It was great. We have got one from David Busco. Levy has an array of advisors, even financial. All Levy's job, whilst difficult and a challenge to manage them, I will not give him credit. And then the final one again from William Kelly, I'm just going to bring it up. I can safely tell you, Danny, it changes this time, mate. They have no way out. This time they're backed into a corner. Believe me, Conte will be here for the long time.
I fucking hope so, mate.
Let's pray. Right, Alex is going to have his say.
Right. And then before he does, I want to just finish off. Before he does, I just want to finish off, because it kind of ties into what William Kelly's comment about winning trophies, right? Because what William Kelly is saying here, right? I actually believe, right, that if Conte is backed in the way that he wants to be backed, that he can be here for a long time. And I think we could see something that we haven't seen at Spurs, or we haven't seen from Conte in his career, in terms of being at a club for a sustained amount of time. I honestly believe Conte has this. I believe, right, this is my opinion. I think Conte's got this unique kind of relationship with Spurs, and Spurs fans, right? And I think he sees it where we're not a club that's been like we're ready to be at that top level just yet, and we're close, we're touching there, we're improving, and he can see it. And what I believe is that he it's like we're the underdogs, and for him to achieve something like a title with an underdog team, if he's just given the tools to do it, I think it'll be his greatest achievement. And
100%.
I think and I think that is what he thrives on. Conte, he thrives on that kind of achievement, because he knows that inside himself, right, that's the best thing he's ever done, to do something like that no one's ever done.
What a legacy,
that is it, Sean. It's the legacy that he would leave behind.
Pep Guardiola, greatest manager of all time. Well, he's only been at 2 clubs, and they're the 2 best clubs in both of the stadium, both of the countries. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which one of the big managers out there? Sir Alex Ferguson. He never went and did it with a smaller team, right? Like, all of the best managers did it with one club or best clubs in their league.
Sean.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Conte winning a Premier League title with Tottenham?
Yeah.
What it would do for the
status.
history of Tottenham?
Yeah,
God status. Yeah. God status. Yeah, GOAT status. 100%. And that's why I think we have this summer, and we've said this all the time, right? But I think now we've actually got an elite manager, one of the best in the world right now, top 3 in the world right now, right? If not top, even better than one of the 2, Klopp, just because of what he's doing with a shit team, right? Klopp or Pep could not do what Conte is doing with this team. 1,000,000% could not do it, right? They're not that, but look what they did when they were at their team, when they were at Liverpool, and they had to spend money and invest a lot, right? He's taken this shit team who finished 7th last year, and they're now in the position to actually go and finish in the top 4 in a season where teams have gone. Chelsea spent 200 million last season or whatever it was, and it's mind blowing what he's done with this team so far. And if we can finish in that top 4, it's going to be the most interesting summer we've ever had to really. And I think it'll be so clear to every Spurs fan to tell you exactly what you need to know about what Daniel Levy and the board's ambitions are, right, for this club. And I think it'll be the most telling thing ever this summer.
Yeah, well said, mate. Well said. And I'm with you 100%.
William Kelly again. He's got the hat trick of super chats. Thank you, William.
Big up, William Kelly.
We're going to have to get a hat trick ball or something sorted, which has been phenomenal. Now, Alex, you've been quiet on what it's saying to say, and we are 2 hours, 21 minutes, and we've only dealt with one controversial moment. But what I will say, and we normally say, oh, please smash that like button. There's so many in the chat, but the likes don't reflect it. Somehow, we now have 103 people watching, and we have 109 likes. So that is loving the math and how that's worked out. But thank you, everyone. We've been loving this show. Alex, have your say.
We had some good numbers tonight. We've had, I think, up to 120 odd people tonight. So
it's been great.
Because Mr. Box Office is in town.
Mr. Box Office is going to chat some. As far as I'm concerned, I have to go back on something that you just. I have to go back on what you said. You saying that we didn't win games without Kane. You're still Kane FC. I'm sorry, I'm sticking to that because as far as I'm concerned, okay, we are the X factor is Kane. You know what I mean? And we're too reliant on him. So that's it as far as I'm concerned. So I have to say that because you saying that we're going to come to
that topic in a minute, hopefully. Though.
Well,
I
have to say that, but. From what Danny said, I think we need to stop this whole thing about worrying about Conte leaving. We have to stop this. Absolutely stop this and Kane leaving. 100%. The whole thing that needs to... The failure of this club is not bringing the foundations that Conte is bringing at the moment. If we do not carry on these foundations and learn these foundations Conte is bringing to us, that will be the failure of the club. 100% the failure of this club. As far as I'm concerned. And I just hope they will learn that because at the end of the day, he's come into the club and he's looked at it and thought it's an absolute mess. And now he's turned things around on the pitch and he's done an absolutely amazing job. Now, yes, he does need his players, you know. And
sorry to interrupt you, just a bit of breaking news.
Jesus.
Matt Doherty is out for the rest of the season, according to Alistair Gold.
Okay. And then, but Danny, and I feel bad for that. I do feel bad for Doherty. Because
so do I.
Because he's
Yeah, no, he's not Spurs.
It is. He played the purple patch at port form at the right time.
Yeah.
Everything is going Doherty's way. He's winning the crowd over. He's been playing in left back. He's been doing well. He's been getting goals, getting assists. He's been speaking in the media, saying how bad it was with Jose and how good it is with Conte. Wallop.
Yeah, but Brian,
when you say that, then people say that we missed Doherty. Then looks like it's a knee injury.
You said.
Sorry, Alex. Before you continue, sorry, mate. It basically says here they understand the scans on the injury have now revealed that the Republic of Ireland international has ruptured his medial collateral ligament in his knee and will be out up to 12 weeks. 12 weeks.
He got up and tried to carry on.
I know.
Right.
That not only rules him out for the rest of the season, but it means his chances of playing his country's Nations League matches in June are all but over.
Fuck.
How long is he going to be out for?
That's 3 months. 3 months. Fuck, man.
It could
And
be
here
worse.
comes Everton.
It could be worse. It could be worse.
Fucking hell.
That is quite worrying because Emerson
yeah.
is not a good player. He's our weakest link right now.
Listen, Danny, that's
every team is gonna attack. Do what Villa did.
Well, they were. Aston Villa were going down that wing.
They were destroying
Emerson.
This reminds me of last season with.
But he did recover though, Danny. He did recover, Danny, in the second half though.
He did. But look, I'm just praying that Emerson can just give us something for the rest of the season.
Well,
if Japet Tangang is out for the season as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking
but it's a squad. This is a squad. This is a squad now. This is the thing. You got to start relying on the squad. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I'm not going to have a go at Conte because at the end of the day, he's done miracles with the squad. You know what I mean? And like, I wasn't trying to be horrible because the thing is, it's a bad injury anyway. It's a bad injury, but I was thinking that's a year if it was a knee injury, isn't it? Because normally those things can be a year.
If he's ruptured his medial ligament, that's the thing. That's usually like a 6 month out. That's a reconstruction kind of injury. Because I dislocated my knee 3 times when I was playing rugby as a kid, and that every time one of those went, your medial or your cruciate always tore. And that was like a 6 month rebuild process. So
it's a huge blow.
That's the thing.
Huge blow.
Huge blow.
But we can't because when I hear people saying that we're going to miss Dyer when he was out, I was just like, oh, for goodness sake, honestly, stop clutching at straws. Honestly, oh my gosh, oh my gosh,
you did, Alex.
Clutching at straws.
Oh my gosh, it's just like when people say, oh my gosh, we're missing Dyer. We're missing
Dyer. Clutching at straws.
You go back to what you said last year. Someone called them moon boots. My gosh! Oh gosh! Yes, it was David Harris. Oh gosh!
I know what Sean's controversial point is.
Yeah, can I make it now? Because I think it's
hold on. Before you do, Alex, did you want to finish off what you were saying, mate? Because I rudely interrupted you.
Oh no, I have to say.
Oh, what, you're deluded? Oh yeah, that's right.
No, you're Mr. Deluded. Oh gosh, here we go. But my point is that that's the failure of the club at the end of the day, because like you just mentioned about Doherty now, what's happening with Doherty, it's about a squad at the end of the day. So someone needs to step up, at the end of the day. So I'm sorry, we can't, Conte, we've got to learn his foundations. And if he does leave, he leaves. But the spotlight will be on Kyriacou, Levy as well, because he's the one who's got to make the decisions as well. By the way, like I said with Kyriacou, he's another Steve Hitchen as far as I'm concerned. Still, you know what I mean. You can look at him like another Steve Hitchen because who's making the final deals at the end of the day? Like he was doing at Juventus, Morta was doing the final deals. He was credited for his success as well. Okay, so I'm sorry that he's a glorified scout at the end of the day, head scout. That's it. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of work to do at Tottenham, but we'll have to see whether his methods work in a long period at the end of the day. Yes, you got to say maybe he needs a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Because he's only had 2 windows. That's it. Yes, but my point is, are we going to keep to the philosophy that Conte's built for us? You know what I mean? Yep. Because at the moment, I don't know whether he's going to do that, because when he brought in Nuno, and people argue that we didn't have any choice in getting Nuno. Well, no, you could have kept the list that Levy had, you know what I mean, and kept that list of going for Graham Potter and play managers like that. But you didn't. You went for managers you thought were better. and that's it. And Nuno was your decision, mate. Your decision. Gattuso was your decision. You know what I mean? I think people completely forget about Gattuso because he was adamant about Gattuso, wasn't he? Fonseca. You know, I'm not having a go at Fonseca because I think from what people said, he was a good manager. But, you know, this is the decision making of him at the end of the day. So those things are concerning. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry. And his time at Juventus wasn't perfect. It was not perfect, especially after Marotta left. And look at that when Marotta left.
Yeah.
Things went downhill. And look at Juventus now. And that's after his tenure.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I've got a lot. I've got to be careful what I say there. But my point is that, you know, we got to be cautious of what we're saying here. Just because of two signings coming from his old club.
3 signings.
There's 2 signings coming from his old club, which he got lucky. I wasn't trying to swear at somebody by saying that. Two signings. Coming from his old club. You know, you can't, you know, he's got lucky. He has got lucky. So, you know, he's got to be doing his work now. Now, I'm hearing that he's doing his work now. Now, that's what he should be doing because Leicester City are doing that right now. West Ham are doing that right now. And Aston Villa are doing that right now. So you should be doing that right now. You know what I mean? To get ahead of the top clubs. So, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, and this is where the period where the next couple of years we'll see whether, you know, we are going to keep to the philosophy that Conte's building at the end of the day. You know?
Yep.
So that's what I've got to say. I have to say that, definitely, yes.
So just before we get on to Sean's point, and when Sean has this point, because I know what it is, I'm just going to sit back, relax, and watch the drama itself. There's someone I want to big up, and his name's Adrian. I can never say his surname right, so I'm not even going to try and say it. Adrian, Sean, is the guy that literally I exploded at on the Irish Hot Spurs channel.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he's now come into the back end and supports the channel a hell of a lot. So I always, when I see him, want to big up his Facebook group because he started a wonderful Spurs Facebook group, and I've remembered it now, Adrian. So I don't need you to put the name in. It's Spurs Diehards or Diehard Spurs. Yeah, Adrian, put the bloody thing in. It's a great group. I'm not going to carry on mentioning every time that I see him about what happened with us on the Irish. But yeah, I've spoken to Adrian about it. Obviously, it's all cushy. And Sean's going just as it's about to be his controversial point. Typical. But yes, Adrian, put your group in the chat because it really is a great group, and Adrian does a great amount of work for it. So I always want to big Adrian up when I see him. And yeah, we were going to go to Sean's point, but I think he's disappeared. So I think by default, we're going to go to box office. Box office. Off you go.
Right. Okay. My controversial point, and this is going to cause a lot of controversy. No, go. I want Sean to go. Because I want to hear this.
Alex has planted the seeds there. My controversial.
No. I want Sean, man. I'm in for it. Man. I want to go. Yeah, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready.
My case is pretty simple. Alex, you believe that Tottenham Hotspur is Harry Kane FC.
Yeah.
Because you think we are overly dependent on just one player.
Yes.
I want to make the argument that Tottenham Hotspur are more dependent on the first 11 than any other team in the top half of the Premier League. Because if we lose one player from any other position other than Harry Kane, we are just as fucked as if we lose Harry Kane. If we lose Bentancur to an injury, who do we have in? Who comes in? Harry Winks, right? If we lose Højbjerg to an injury, who comes in? Harry Winks comes back in, right? And then we go back to Wolves and Southampton level shit shows. If we lose Romero to an injury, who comes in? Sanchez. If we lose Ben Davies to an injury, who comes in? Probably Sanchez playing left-sided centre-back or Joe Rodon. If we lose Doherty to an injury like we just have, who have we got fucking to come in? We become a significantly weaker outfit. Like the first 11 at Tottenham is solid and awesome and goes and does great things. Our first 12 is shaky. Our first 13, God forbid we lose another player. So when you say we rely entirely on Harry Kane, we don't rely entirely on Harry Kane. If anything, if Harry Kane gets injured, I'd rather Harry Kane got injured than Bentancur, because at least we've got someone like Bergwijn who can actually step in and potentially do a job. If Bentancur gets injured, we're fucked. We've got Harry Winks back for the next 7-8 games. True. If Emerson gets injured, now that Doherty's injured, then what the fuck do we do? If Reguilon or Sessegnon break down again, then what the fuck do we do? We are not Harry Kane FC. We are not Harry Kane FC, bro. There is not another team in the Premier League, or at least in the top half of the table, that is more dependent on the 11 that we have than Tottenham Hotspur is. We are not Harry Kane. That's it. Tottenham's first 11, first 12 can maybe do it. First 13, fucking useless. First 14, if we lose 3 players, then who have we got? After Lucas Moura, like if we don't sign players in the summer, we got 5 substitutions to make next season. At the moment, we put 5 subs on the bench, or whatever it is, 7 subs on the bench, with the intent of only ever using 2 of them. We use Bergwijn and Moura, and that's just to give them game time. We've got no midfielders that we want to ever put on the pitch. We have no other defenders we ever want to have to go to. For you to say that we're Harry Kane FC, I think is the biggest, most ridiculous underestimation of how important other players are in our team. There's not another club in the Premier League that has to rely on the 11 players that we have more than Tottenham do.
That's my statement.
It's the most controversial statement I've ever heard, to think that we rely just on Harry Kane. What happens if we lose Bentancur?
Yeah, we're fucked.
Okay, yeah, but like I said before, who's the one that's creating the chances, bro? At the end of the day, you have got a good point.
It doesn't matter, Alex.
You have got a good point. I do agree with you there. I do agree with you there. So it's not difficult, because the thing is, look what happened when Dyer happened. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go that far, Fats. No.
I was hoping to like pull the grenade and it just.
Scott M disagrees with you.
Yeah,
Scott M is the most glass half empty man I've ever seen in my life. I love you, Scott.
Honestly, I think you're right. You are right, though. You are right. You know, we do get dependent on players, and we don't think about the squad at the end of the day. And I think the thing is, though, I'm not going to have a go at Conte at the moment. I think he needs time. He needs time. I definitely would try to disagree. Well, I would disagree with you sometimes, Sean, but on this point, you are right. I mean, we in terms of the X factor.
Clip that, please, Cody. Clip it, please.
We X factor. He's the X factor. The X factor is Kane at the end of the day. So we do rely on him in that sense. You know what I mean? Because he's always playing at the end of the day, isn't he? He's always playing all the time. He was always playing in the Carabao Cup games, always playing in the FA Cup games and the European games as well. Even the Conference League when Conte was in as well, he wouldn't not play him. He wouldn't not drop him, isn't it? So for me,
we're not Harry Kane FC, then, are we? If you acknowledge that we're basically, without the first 11 that we have, we become exponentially weaker if any one of those 11 players goes down injured, then we're not Harry Kane FC,
not all of them, because I think certain players can do a job. I think everybody gives a lot of flack to Harry Winks. Yes, he's not great. No, I still think there's no difference between him and Højbjerg, if I'm really honest. That's my controversial statement on that anyway, straight away. You know what I mean? But to be fair to Højbjerg, he's a good team player. You know what I mean? It works well with him in the squad as well. So I think it's a bit. I think it's a bit harsh.
You retract? Will you just live on air? Will you retract that? Will you say out loud for the clip? We are not Harry Kane FC.
No.
We always
I think you've got a good point though about certain players in the squad in that first 11. We do become weaker, but I think that's a mentality thing. Well, I don't like that word mentality, but I have to use it. Mentality thing that we still we get used to certain formations and stuff, and the players that are playing in that formation, and we just stick to that, and that's it. And but I think we need to give it time. I think we have to give it time, definitely.
Well, that was my controversial statement. I was hoping to get a reaction, but I think Alex has gone. He's gone almost. If there's a door, and when you walk through it, we're no longer Harry Kane.
That wasn't that much of a controversial statement, to be honest with
you. From listening to you on the shows last night,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be controversial for you, but maybe not. It didn't work out. Never mind.
Well, one thing I will definitely say though is that Højbjerg is no different to Skip. Højbjerg is no different to Winks, though.
That's insane. That's insane.
Come off it.
No,
come off
I'm sorry. No, he's no different to Winks.
You're clucking your straws,
mate. Him all day long. All day long. No, I'm not cussing it. No, don't cut me. Don't cut me off. Do not cut me off. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm straight up saying, okay, Højbjerg is no different to Winks.
Can I just say to people in the comments, the true delusion is now in full
no, it's not true delusion. Mr. Box Office talking the truth again. You know what I mean?
Winks is the worst player I've seen at Spurs since Tom
he's
Carroll.
not, bruv. Jamie O'Hara's the worst player.
You know why?
Jamie O'Hara's the worst player, bro.
He's exactly the same.
Jamie O'Hara's the worst player, bruv. You know what I mean? I've seen Dross at Tottenham, man.
I said since Tom Carroll, he's exactly the same as Tom Carroll.
I've seen Dross at Tottenham. I've seen Dross at Tottenham when we were basically getting mid-table every single year, bro. Honestly, don't talk to me about us being Dross. These players are Dross and everything else. These players are much better than when we were getting 12th, getting battered by Arsenal every single week. You know what I mean? Sorry, no way. And then Man United batter us as well when we get up 3-0 and then we lose 5-3. Come on. No, it's not. He's not. Højbjerg.
Alex. Wing,
different to Winks.
Waffling.
Nonsense.
No, it's not nonsense, man. It's not. No. Skip banters Højbjerg all day long. I'm waiting for Ellie to come now and start having a go.
I don't think Ellie's finished it.
Ellie's not here tonight. No.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, Winks is just worst player at Tottenham.
He isn't. He's not that bad.
Atrocious.
He's not that bad.
He is pathetic.
No, he's not that bad.
He should be a ballerina, not a footballer.
He can't tackle. He's terrified of tackling, mate.
He's not a defensive midfielder, though.
Every midfielder's got a role to do, mate, and it's not just purely passing.
He doesn't.
He's terrified. He's terrified of tackling. Like
if he was that useless, Conte would have sold him.
I think there was a list of players that we were more desperate to get out based on toxicity. I'd be so surprised if Conte kept him in the summer. If we can get
the only problem I've got is that the homegrown thing at the end of the day, because I know that will be a problem in Europe. In Europe, I have to say Europe at the end of the day, because I think we've got too many foreign players in that.
Can't you just promote like one of the like Dagul's favourite man? What's his name? The kid that you love, Brian.
What kid?
The youth player.
Alfie Divine.
Can't you just promote one of those guys and then make up the numbers that way? I don't know. I don't know how the whole homegrown thing works. To be honest, I'm not an expert on it, so I'm not gonna.
I'm not an expert either, but I think we are won over if it's a foreign player. If we're talking about in Europe, because unfortunately Europe it's a different matter, isn't it? Unfortunately, because if you're from a different in other countries in the United Kingdom, you are classed as a foreign player. If you're classed as a foreign player, and people forget as well. Dyer's a foreign player as well. People completely forget that. He is a foreign player. Because he came from Portugal's academy, didn't he? So this is the thing. So this is why I say that we've got to be careful about that in the day. I think he will want to leave because he wants game time, doesn't he, Winks? So, but he's a good player. He's a good player. We said this about the player that went to Southampton, Walker Peters, and look how he's playing at the moment. You don't know. You really don't know.
Peters turned out to be a great player, didn't he? Yeah,
exactly.
That was a silly
mistake. And people thought he was absolutely useless. Fourth.
I'll be honest though, Kyle Walker Peters, I still don't think he's at a level for Tottenham. He's playing at the perfect level for him right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that.
And the reason why we sold him is because whenever we put the pressure on him, he crumbled because he's not a big game player, right? And not just that, he played well in certain games when he had his chances. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed when I watched him play at times for Tottenham, but he's too weak. He's too weak for a wing back in the Premier League, especially for what we want to do right now. He's not what you want is your ideal. He's got to be good at one thing or another, right? He's not good at defending, and he's all right going forward. He's not great, right? If you want a right wing back or right back, you've got to be good at one or the other. You've got to be really good defensively and all right going forward, or you've got to be really good going forward and all right defensively. Emerson is shit at both, right? Which is why he's shit. And Kyle Walker-Peters was all right at both, but he wasn't great, and that's why we had to get rid of him. And I think we got the best part of the deal bringing Højbjerg because he's a far better player than Harry Winks, and I'm so glad he's part of this squad. And he's showing again.
Yeah, I love him. I love him.
Since that injury, he came back after Southampton, after that bad game against Southampton. He came out for one game. He was rested for the first time, and then ever since then, he's been brilliant for us. He's been brilliant, and I'm not gonna lie, he has been, right? So, I think, I just think we need better for a right wing back.
We do definitely need better wing backs. I definitely say that because I'm sorry, I don't like the fact that Reguilón's getting time over Sessegnon. I don't think Reguilón's been very good.
Just quickly, Alex, on that you mentioned Sessegnon and Reguilón. I think someone put it up in the comments a while back when we heard about Doherty's news. Does any of you three, think that we could play Sessegnon at inverted right back?
I'd rather Bergwijn.
Yeah, so would I.
I'd rather Bergwijn because we've been crying out to give back. I see him as the right wing back. People are saying he doesn't want to play right wing back. But right now, if you look at that squad, and if there's anyone that deserves minutes that have been coming off the bench right now, I think it has to be him.
Offensively, he'd be fine, but defensively, would you worry that we just get targeted down that right-hand side? How good is Bergwijn at tracking back?
I think Bergwijn's all right, though. I think he could do it, but I don't think Conte's going to do that, though. I don't think he's going to do that.
Playing Emerson, he'll keep playing.
I think for me, I think he still thinks that Bergwijn's in Kane's position. I think, like I said, I think he's been very unlucky, very, very unlucky. I mean, he hasn't had the time, and I've said why. People can watch back what I've said already about him because he's had his chances and he's knocked it out of the park and he got benched afterwards. So he's not gotten that trust from Conte in the day. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, there was allegedly interest in him in the January transfer window, and they didn't let him go. So I think he needs time, and I do not understand. You're absolutely spot on. You're absolutely spot on, Adrian, about that. Yeah, you are. They are foreign players, unfortunately, because of that stupid rule in Europe.
Well, Rodon won't be around anyway in the summer. I think he'll moved on, won't he? So.
Well, yeah, because he's just not getting the game time, isn't he? So he needs to leave. I mean, I just think I don't understand why he's not getting in front of Moura, because he does more than Moura. He does absolutely more than Moura. I mean, that goal he scored against Newcastle, I was behind it. He's so cool in that move. And I've got to be honest, Moura's lucky to get that pass through, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I think people have a go at Sessegnon too much. I think Sessegnon's done very, very well. He's aggressive. He knows that wing-back role really well as well. He's done really, really well. And unfortunately, he had that bad injury. He had got an injury when he was playing really well, like Doherty's just got now. I think he's been very, very unlucky. Very unlucky. And I just do not think Reguilón is good enough for that sort of spot at the moment. I think he gets into the right positions. He don't take on the man. He doesn't take on his man at all. He's not got the confidence. So I don't think he's confident in that wing-back role. I think last season, he was over the top a little bit last season, to be honest with you.
So you wouldn't play Sessegnon there, though, would you? Or would you stick with Emerson?
At the moment, I think if he can play left down the left, Sessegnon, yes, I'll try him.
They tried him once, didn't they? One of the games, was it Southampton away? Was it one of the games where Doherty was on the left and they brought on Sessegnon on the right to try? It was really weird.
I think it was against Brentford or Norwich at Christmas, wasn't it?
It was it was early in the either late in the year or early in the new year. We played one of those games and Sessegnon was played right wing back, and I thought he did really well. He only got like half an hour because it was a late sub, but I thought he handled it very well. So I don't know. It's a
I
fucking.
just want to say,
I'm so upset about.
Well, I have the diamond that is Sue Smith. I have the superstar that is Ellie, and this woman deserves a nickname, so she's getting one. It's Princess Kaguma, who is coming with another super sticker. Kaguma, honestly, one of the most amazing, friendliest, and loveliest people you ever get to meet. And I've had the joy and the pleasure of actually speaking to her live on a stream, and she is just such a wonderful part of the family. So once again, thank you. And on that note, Danny, I think we're going to wrap it up, aren't we?
Well, we can go a bit longer, actually. We can go a bit
longer.
Sure?
Yeah.
No,
it's entirely up to you, mate.
No, I had some things to sort out, but I'm
happy to keep going if you guys are.
Yeah.
Let's get a controversial one, because I thought mine was going to get Alex all riled up. But Alex was like,
"We'll go. Let's do some controversial ones. Let's do Alex's one, because he planted that seed so nicely, didn't he?
Oh, he's got a notepad.
He's got a fucking notepad. I've never seen Alex with a notepad in all my life. So this is going to be good, people. So I think strap in, everyone, because this is going to be interesting.
Well,
so Alex, my man, take it away. What's this?
Like I said before, we all go on about Sky Sports because this was an interesting one yesterday. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I just feel in the mood today. Everyone was going on about, Sky Sports don't give us enough credit. For me, I don't blame them for not giving us a lot of credit, because we are a joke club. We've been a joke club. Okay? So for me, if Tottenham want to be known as not a joke club, we keep on calling ourselves Spursy, which I don't know why we keep on doing it to ourselves anyway. Why don't you just go out and win the Premier League? And then that will keep people quiet, wouldn't it? Absolutely keep people quiet. Because we all feel sorry for ourselves because everybody has a go at us. We feel sorry for ourselves. We haven't won the trophy. I need a Carabao Cup. I need a Carabao Cup because I need it so I can stop my friends having a go at me and everything. I need it. Okay. Right. Well, I can still sleep at night anyway. You know what I mean? I can still sleep at night because I don't really care, because I still love my club anyway. You know what I mean? I would be more proud us winning the Premier League or FA Cup than us seeing us doing another Carabao Cup again, and then don't do nothing for the next 20 years. So I'm sorry. That's my statement, and that's all I need to say. Gloves are off, guys.
Basically, stop feeling sorry for ourselves is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah? Stop feeling sorry for ourselves.
Why, Alex? Okay, so what is it you see that fans feel sorry for themselves about this whole situation?
Because everybody was moaning about them saying about, if Conte leaves, what if Kane leaves? The reason why they're saying that, because they know that Kane wants a Premier League. He wants a Premier League.
What's the right money for Kane, Alex?
150 million minimum.
You still reckon that, Alex? Even though that's the number they were talking about this season. No, don't get me wrong. That he's finishing this season like a man possessed, and you could say has his value decreased. I'm looking at more contract length. With his contract going down by one more year, with his age going up by one more year, do you reckon? Don't get me wrong. For Spurs, I think he's priceless.
I think it's
and if you get rid of him, you've got to buy a striker, a playmaker, a deep lining midfielder.
Also, Brian, don't forget, mate, if you get 150 million, and even if you can go and find someone who's a number 9 and a number 10 to replace the gap that Kane leaves, if you're going to go and pay 60 million for one and 60 million for the other, for argument's sake, those guys are both going to want 250 grand a week. Harry Kane doesn't get paid 500 grand a week; he gets paid 200 grand a week. The amount of money that's going to cost us to have two players to do the guy does the job of two men, doesn't he? Two world-class players. I think he's priceless. I wouldn't sell him for less than 200.
Alex, do you still stand, like I say, well, with the thing I gave you, like obviously 150 million was the going price last season. Do you reckon with a year going down on his contract, we can still, don't get me wrong, if he was still in the prime and like 3 years left, no doubt whatsoever, 150 minimum, do you reckon with 2 years that value goes down? Not because of the player, but because of the contract.
Probably yes.
So what would your new figure be?
I would say 120 million
Okay.
at minimum.
I was going to say 125, so we weren't far.
Yeah.
And who would you go and buy with it?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I think you could get a Martinez maybe, or I don't know, a top striker, or you could try and figure out another way to play a system without Kane. You know what I mean? Not having Kane being the focus. You know what I mean? So you could do that maybe. You know what I mean? I don't think that's what we could do. But yeah, you make a really good point, Brian. You make a really good point. I like I said, I wish I had a channel then last summer. I really wish I got the courage to do it, because I had a lot on it. I was so seething. The amount of times we were talking about the manager, because I knew we didn't know what we were doing in the manager search, and also we were just talking too much about Kane. We were just too. And the thing that annoys me about the whole thing, like I said before, I'm not having a go at Kane. The reason why we don't get a striker is because strikers don't want to come into Tottenham because they know they're going to be benched.
Yeah,
it's a tough conundrum. I don't know what you can get, because if you do go and buy a striker, you want to get a better level than someone like, Vinicius, right? You don't want to get another Carlos Vinicius. You want to get someone who's happy to play a part, to only get 40% game time, but when he does play, can do a fucking job. And the only name that I can think of who fits that bill is like a Gareth Bale, who's more than happy to sit on the bench. He's always smiling. He doesn't care. But when he does come on, like he did last season, he can bang in whatever. How many goals did he get last season? 12 goals in 13 goals, was it, or something, in like 20 games?
Let's not start with Gareth Bale, because then I'm going to go fucking mad with that.
He got 12 goals.
Oh, here we go.
Well, you wouldn't take Gareth Bale back.
Oh no, I wouldn't. No.
Controversial.
Why? No way.
Sean,
no way.
This is the delusion I was talking to you about, mate.
No, it's not. Danny, don't let me banter you every single time, bro, on this stuff. What do we win last season, bro? Nothing.
It doesn't matter.
What do we finish last season, bro? 7.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
7.
matter.
I don't need to say any more, bro.
That's not Gareth Bale's fault.
That's not Bale's fault.
Gareth Bale didn't start a game until the middle of the season, bro.
Alex, without Gareth Bale, we would have finished like 11th or 12th.
Oh, here we go.
Look at the goal.
He's done so well because he scored goals against Burnley. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Where was he against Arsenal, bro? Oh, Alex. Bantered.
Alex.
Oh, he got bantered out of the building.
Alex.
Oh my gosh. That's
Alex.
Boom.
Alex.
That's it.
Mate,
Alex.
who are you going to get? Who
Alex.
are you going to get that's better than Gareth Bale, that's also happy to sit on the bench for 50% of the games and only play in the Carabao Cup?
Finding somebody that can play with Kane.
Name one.
In the day.
Name one that you can get for decent money that can come in and do a job. Not a Vinicius that scores 10 goals, but all of them are Tommy Tappins, 3 of them against fucking Marine FC. Name someone who can come in and do it in the Premier League when Harry Kane needs a break, or the Carabao Cup, or the FA Cup, or the early stages of the Champions League. Name someone who can give Harry Kane a rest, but when you do rest Harry Kane, you're not dropping the potential quality of the guy who's taking his spot. The only one that I could, like, Lautaro Martinez is not going to come in. A, he's going to cost a fortune. B, he's going to cost a fortune in wages. And C, he's not going to come in and be a bit part player. Steven Bergwijn's not happy doing it. And Steven Bergwijn isn't fit to lace the boots of Depay, of Martinez, of Dybala. Any of these names that are being touted around that we're going to bring in to kind of to improve the forward line. Like, you're not going to drop Sonny. You're not going to drop Kane. At best, you'll rest them in the cup competitions, but those guys are not going to come in to play second fiddle.
Sean, I have to say, I'm going to bring a question up because Adrian said talk about transfers, and this is a great question. This is a great question. So let's see what people in the chat think as well. You got the choice to sign 2 centre backs out of this lot. We'll go around the houses. Who are you choosing and why?
2 of those. Bastoni and Gvardiol. Well, they're both in the same position. No. Bastoni, they're the same position. I'll take Bastoni and Delict.
Wait, before we say that, are we doing this based on realistic targets, or are we doing it based on who we actually just want?
Yeah. Well, if money's no object, then we can get them. For me, Bastoni.
Okay, do both.
Okay, well, for me, Bastoni, but he'll cost like 80 million. There's no chance we'll get
So
him.
sorry, Sean, just quick. Is this your if money's no object or is
money's no object?
Okay.
I'd get Bastoni and De Ligt.
Okay, and if
De
money
Ligt would improve on Dyer and Bastoni would improve on Davies, and then we got Romero. That's the best back three in world football without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep.
If money is, if realistically, Gvardiol from Leipzig and I think maybe, I mean, a lot of those play left. A lot of them are left-sided centre backs anyway. So there's only a few of them that are central centre back. Probably Gvardiol, I think, is realistic, and Skriniar probably. But yeah.
I would agree with everything Sean said. The only thing I might change is maybe I'd probably change Skriniar for. Well, Skriniar, does he normally play in the middle of a back three, or does he play right centre back?
I think he's right centre back.
Is he right centre back? Is he? Okay, fair enough.
I think De Vrij is because Bastoni plays left centre back, De Vrij plays centre back, and I think
Pau Torres is left-sided centre back.
Yeah, so I'd probably go De Vrij
left-sided centre back.
So my two realistic ones would be De Vrij because his contract's up at the end of this next season. So he can
De Vrij plays central, doesn't he?
I can't believe I agree with you, Daddy. I cannot believe I agree with you.
and Gvardiol.
My God, you heard it.
Amazing.
Actually, I'd agree with that. De Vrij plays central and Gvardiol. If we could get those two in,
so that's what I would do.
That would probably cost you 35 million, wouldn't it?
Maybe 40. Maybe 40.
There'd be a lot in agent fees, a lot in signing fees, and a lot in wages. But yeah, I'd take. That'd be awesome.
But you get two top centre backs. One who's a young, promising, one of the best promising young left back centre backs in the world, and then you've got someone who's in his prime right now, who's like 28, 29 years old, who can give us another at least 3 or 4 years at top level football, right? And then you've got Dyer who's a similar age to him, and it'll be good competition. And for me, if I would get rid of Sanchez, sell him off. That's what I would do. Sell.
The good thing about Gvardiol, mate, Gvardiol's 6'4.5". He's an absolute beast in the air.
And
Tottenham,
huge.
If Tottenham can fix
6'3",
our aerial, because like if we don't really concede if the ball's on the floor. If we can fix our aerial incompetencies, then we wouldn't concede very much at all. And Gvardiol could teach people like Romero a bit about timing for the headers, because Gvardiol, not only is he lanky, but he reaches the ball at its peak. He's a brilliant header of the ball. So yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with Danny's choices.
Do you know what? I mean, out of my choice, I'm a huge fan of Skriniar. I wish we'd got him the first time, and I was going to say him straight away. But then, as soon as you said he's right of the back three, that kind of ends that. I am a huge fan of Dele Alli. Huge fan.
He cost too much money.
We should have tried to get him before he went to Italy. Although we may not have got him, but like I said before, I'd love to see us just match these people in the offers if we can, and then see who he chooses. Then
he went for 80 million, didn't he? Was it 85 million?
Yeah, so I mean, at that value, obviously, like I said with the Vlahovic, I wanted Vlahovic bad, but no way at 300 grand a week. No bloody way.
I think he's overhyped. I've got to be honest.
I would take Dele Alli, and I think De Vrij. I think De Vrij is done. I pray, and I really think De Vrij. If we're going to show our intention, and we're going to bring someone in. Man. De Vrij last year of his contract, De Vrij the Conte factor, De Vrij, this will show that Conte's in control, because obviously it's an older player than we normally sign. I think De Vrij is number one on our shopping list this summer. I really do.
I'll take De Vrij.
De Vrij and the lip for me out.
You know what? I agree with you there. I totally agree with you there, Brian. De Ligt and
Pau Torres is class as well.
Yeah, Sean, I've heard so much about him, but like I said, I used to watch when I lived at home and before I used to watch any football game that was going. But then obviously my wife's not into football and the time zone difference, so I watch a lot of Premier League for obvious reasons. But now I've kind of hummed it. I watch every single Spurs thing, obviously, so I can't really go in saying, yeah, I want this one, I want that one, because I don't know enough. But like I said to you, Sean, when we signed Bentancur, I didn't even know where he came from. I didn't even know his name. So it's very, very hard for me to say. So Pau Torres, I've been hearing loads of good things.
We tried to sign Pau Torres last summer. We didn't get hold of him.
Who on that list have we not tried to sign?
I don't think we've gone after Schlotterbeck before. I don't think we've gone after Breimer before. I don't think we've gone after Lenglet or Ramagnoli. But I think, listen, Pau Torres He comes with a massive. He comes with a big wage bill. He's a great player. He's fast as well. This is one of the things that, like, if you want someone that's tall and someone that's good aerially, Tyler in the comments is saying that he doesn't think Guardiola is good aerially. I don't know if I agree with that, mate, personally. But if you want someone that is tall and that can jump and that can and a big sort of solid fella who can handle the aerial stuff, unfortunately the trade-off there is that you then are vulnerable to pace. There's very few central defenders that have got like an 85-90 speed ratio and also could jump and also can head the ball clear. Torres is probably one of those guys that doesn't lack pace and is also good in the air. So I like the guy, but he turned us down before, and I think he might be moving to. I think there's already rumours that he's going somewhere else in somewhere in Italy. So I don't know if that one's even possible.
Brimer, I think the rumours are that he's either going to. There's talk about Juventus, there's talk about Napoli, and there's also potential talk about Inter Milan. I think it might be Inter Milan. I think Inter Milan are the closest to him. I think it's Inter Milan because because the reports I've seen. That the idea is De Vrij they want to sell because he doesn't want to extend his contract, and the replacement will be Brimer, right? So they'll get the money for De Vrij and buy Brimer or Bramer, however you say his name. You know what? He looks like an absolute machine. That guy. He's like 6'4", 5". He's a tank. He's fast. He's so big. But do you know what? There's another player, right? No one's actually mentioned, which. I don't know. I think he's done all right this season, but I don't know. I haven't followed him as much this season as I did last season. But there's a guy called Maxwing Lacroix. Is it Wolfsburg? Is it Wolfsburg? I think it is. And he's a very good player as well. He's like your modern day centre back. He's strong. He's quick. He's tall. He's good in the air. He'd be another. He's good on the ball. He could be another potential option as well.
Yeah, he's 6'2" as well. 6'1". Well, yeah, Max Ant Lacroix, I think his name is, isn't it?
The one. Yeah.
Wolfsburg.
Danny,
I don't know too much about him.
Do me a favour, Danny. I've just shared something with you on WhatsApp. Now, I can't put it on because, again, I'm not the... and you've got WhatsApp web on your thing. We all spoke before about Bobby K and his kids bringing out their own channel. The link Danny is about to share is for a very, very dear friend of mine and a very, very dear friend of the YouTube community. And his two kids are out of this world. And they've just started their own little channel. It's with the kids. And it's going to be a great little channel. And if everyone that knows Bobby K and his kids can go and just give it a subscribe, it would be absolutely outstanding for those two kids because they deserve it. So yeah. And I think on that note, because my battery is about to die, unless you guys want to carry it on, and I'm going to have to drop.
Why don't you put your charger in?
Because
option B.
Where I am, I don't have a plug. To put it in. And
where's your laptop, Brian?
Don't get me started on my fucking laptop.
Yeah, that's right. No, right.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started with technical issues. Listen, as we all know, I'm the mouth. And put me on the camera, I'm fine. Give me technical shit? No. So guys, I'm more than happy for you to carry it on. I'm just going to need to drop out any second now.
All right, well, I love you, man.
I think I might head off as well because I need to eat some dinner and sort some shit out before work tomorrow. So I think we might as well wrap it up then.
Cool.
Guys, so I just want to say, everyone in the chat, thanks for staying. It was going to be, I didn't think it was going to be 3 hours, 7 minutes long. Loved every second of it. Danny, we've wanted to do this for ages and phenomenal. And Sean and Alex, you know this is happening again.
Alex, you've been bantered, bro. You've been bantered.
Yeah,
really? I love it. I'm going the wrong way. But yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the show. This is going to be a regular thing with me and Danny. And just give us your comments. If there's anything you want us to talk about next week, let us know. And Sean, Alex, you got anything you want to say finally, or pick up the channels again?
Yeah,
exercises.
Go on, Alex. Go for it.
Big up to everybody. Hopefully we'll do a live soon. Hopefully, I'm still preparing for that at the end of the day because I'm going to do hopefully some new content soon. All I ask is if you can watch and just comment as much as you can. If you disagree or agree or whatever, I don't really care, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, it's all fun and games, like they say, isn't it? So you know, that's it for me. That's it. And hopefully you have something. I'm not going to make too much promises because you know there is a reality for me, unfortunately, that I've got to live and stuff. So, but yeah, that's all I will say on that.
Are you living in the metaverse, Alex? Already, Alex?
Huh?
Are you living in the metaverse already, mate? In the VR world?
Yeah.
I'd like to commit to doing more content, but you know, life and stuff.
Yeah. Priorities, like they say, isn't it? So yeah. That's all I'm gonna get on here anyway. But yeah, thank you guys for inviting me. Thank you. I really appreciate that I'm your first guest. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, big up to you, Sean, as well. But yeah, thank you for everybody and stuff. And yeah, and big up to everybody as well. So yeah, I have to give a shout out to the football terrorists as well. Because they've been hot recently. So yeah, I have to give out a shout out to them as well. So yeah, thank you guys.
All right, just quickly from me, thank you so much for inviting me on for your debut show on a Sunday night. I loved it. If you want to have me on again, I'd love to come as often as not as you'd like me. Love you both at the top. Alex, I absolutely adore you, my friend. You are a legend, and it's always fun and games. Like there's never anything. It's always just banter, isn't it? And thank you to everyone in the comments who's sort of been involved. It's been a lot of fun, and you can find me at Spurs Talk Show. The next thing I'm doing is probably I think I do a Wednesday night live stream, and I will do the football finance, the regulations and how it's all changed around sustainability. If you're interested in that shit, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys all soon. Thank you for having me, guys.
Can I just add, right? So I want to say thank you to you boys as well, because it's been an absolute fantastic show, and it's been such an honor to have you both on here for our first show as well, and we thank you for staying with us this long. And yeah, you've been fucking brilliant, both of you, and I couldn't have asked for two better guests for our first show. So I want to say to everyone in the stream, if you haven't done, whoever's still watching, please go over to these boys' channels and subscribe and like their content and everything, because they are fucking brilliant, and you need to just it's a crime if you not subscribe to them and watching what they do, because they are brilliant. So thank you, boys, for tonight.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Right, so Brian, I'll leave you with the final words, my man.
Yep.
Index finger six-pack going over there.
Mate, I can lift up a house with these fingers right now. You have Martin Tyler that has Andy flying. And as always, Levy out. Danny the bastard. Danny the bastard. And I can change it.
Oh, you're changing it now, man.
And as always, Levy out.
Good night, everyone.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. In content. Alex is deluded.
Tottenham On Tour.